tonight's guest on Set the Trend Live, Terry Walker, Jerry Bascombe, and DCR. And now, here come your hosts.
Hey.
Hello.
Let's crack a in.
Welcome to Set the Trend Live, all 12 of you, 15 of you that have just all logging on. I know you're all logging on now. We've got the giggles. Welcome to Set the Trend podcast. We'll explain a bit more about it in a little while. I was just thinking, Lines, we need someone to do our socials for us, though, don't we? Because trying to do your socials just before the show starts, you know, to your groups is a bit bait, as the young people say.
It is. Would you like me to take the lead while you're doing that?
I don't want you troubling my socials. I ain't giving you access to my socials.
Why not?
Because I don't trust you.
You going like as if you got DMs coming in. Oh yeah, sorry, you might have some DMs coming in actually. Since you're the Duke, there's plenty of Lady Bridgertons sending their garments into your DMs. I take it.
No. Danger gets all of that. Ray doesn't.
Oh, Danger does. Oh yeah, that's right. It's Danger. It's Danger that gets the garments thrown at him.
That's right. I don't get none of that. Thank goodness. You know
what do you get? You get the take me to dinner.
I don't even get that.
You really?
No. I don't get that, man. I'm old school.
Quite surprising, actually. You know, I really feel it for you.
I'm old school, mate. I've passed it.
All right, get a bit of a tan in, and you can become a member of the DSS.
You and your colorism again, Reggie. Right.
It's weird that the man who's in charge of HR is always like always going a bit too far.
Always firing shots. Anyway, Mr. Human Resources, welcome, EastEnder. Welcome everybody who's joining us. Welcome to Set the Trend podcast. This is where we look to document street sound culture and look at some of the past history, talk about it, and make sure that it's never, ever to be forgotten, and show you guys how it's relevant to 2021. And today is a very good show before we get into it later on. Let's just deal with this now, Reggie, because I've had enough of this. We've been doing this all week. We have your boss on the show today.
Oh, wow.
Jerry Bascombe will be on the show today. I mean, he's not your boss, so I don't know what you'd call him. You are on his station, right?
It's his friend. That's what he said. That's the definition that Reggie likes to use. His friend.
Yeah, but he's only the friend. But I know that Jerry's a man. He knows the line. There's a line. There's a boss, and there's like the minions. And you're a very good minion, mind you. In fact, your background looks kind of minion-ish anyway today. But you know how it goes. You know what I'm saying to you? He is your boss. But let's not get caught up in it.
It'll be interesting to see what how Jerry calls him.
It will be.
It will be interesting.
It will be. And how he calls underpants. But let's leave that just for now. So Jerry Bascombe need a place to go. .co.uk. He was a DJ on Choice FM as well. He's one of West London's finest DJs. We'll be talking to him about his life experiences, should we put it, and what's he been up to, and what's he going to be doing, more importantly. And that's Jerry Bascombe. Also, we have two fabulous young ladies up to today. One of them is one of the UK's finest voice, Miss Terry Walker. In the I don't know how we pulled that one off, but we did. She will be in the building, and we can't wait to talk to her about what she's been up to, and again what she will be doing. Big up DJ Lane in the building. Big up yourself, DJ Lane. Nice to know that she's locked on. So, and also not forgetting Reggie Styles,
the amazing independent artist DCR. She had a big hit, Positive Vibes, about a year ago, and she's just about to drop a brand new EP, and we're going to have an exclusive hearing performance from her. So,
great.
Yeah.
And we look forward to that. And if you just joined us on Facebook, can you share the link for us, please? If you joined us on Instagram. No, sorry, Instagram. YouTube, please. Like, subscribe, and share the page. And even if you're on Facebook, go to our page on YouTube and like and subscribe. Please do. That's where all our important information gets placed first. All our important interviews, they all go on the YouTube page. Right, we've got a packed show today. And we got some guests coming in today as well, but we'll say no more about that. Last week's show, Reggie Styles.
Independent Soul, trying to find out where we're at with it. And it's great having those Alvin Garrett performing and also Ness performing as well. And it was really, really interesting to hear the views of the champions of the independent soul scene here at the moment. What are you looking like that for, EastEnder? Yeah. So, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Great conversations. And the conversations is still going on in the independent scene. I was watching a couple of podcasts last night, and again, they were, talking about it and talking about the conversation that we had on Set the Trend, which was nice of them. I'm trying to think the name of the podcast. I'll remember it and I'll give them a shout just before the end of the show.
Yeah, because I got forwarded one. I didn't watch the bit yet, but I'm going to watch the clip. I'm sure.
Oh, you're getting name checked. Woohoo!
I'm sure it will be quite interesting. And remember, all you guys in the chat room, please remember our guests today, they're your guests as well. And you're very important to the show. So if you want to forward up your questions for any of the guests that we have today, you can do so. So don't think it's just us asking the questions. You're part of this as well. So welcome to you guys. Right. So this week, let's have a quick review of what's going on this week before we get our guests on. Cassette tapes are making a comeback. Now, can our producer show us a cassette tape? Because our younger listeners, viewers might not be au fait with a cassette. That is a cassette tape. That right there is a cassette tape.
Well, there's a few there.
But it's still a cassette tape, right? Did you see anything that wasn't a cassette tape there?
Reggie, it's the plural.
Right. Anyway,
cassette tapes.
So one thing I want to know, Reggie, have you still got a cassette deck?
Yeah, I have actually. I still got my old Techniques cassette player. I've also got my Sony Walkman. No, doesn't look like that.
You got a proper sound boy.
That's the skaters b-boy cassette tape, man. Cassette. That's like a boombox. That one. I mean, sadly my boombox got stolen quite a few years ago. That I had of that. Yeah.
So you've still got yours, EastEnder. Have you still got a tape deck? Oh, you have, because your shop is very old.
I've got one of those Techniques double cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Not at home. I've got one in the shop, and we still have cassette tapes in the shop. I pulled out a couple. Here we go. Let's see this one here. You know what? You can see this one.
The lyrics. Yes.
Yeah.
And what was our track off that song? What was our track off that again?
Rodeo Style. Jamisha Bennett. And there's another one I pulled out.
Bad Boys. Will Smith.
Hey, shake your tail feather.
That's the one. And
hello, Wendy.
It's one of those things again. The record companies always looking a new way to make some more money. So they're now re-releasing all the new albums that's coming out on a cassette. That's another format to sell.
So what we want to know to the chat room, have you guys still got a cassette deck or something that you can play a cassette player in? And if so, and even if you haven't really, can we know your best album or single that you've got on a cassette? Yeah, so just put in the chat room, what is your favorite album that you still got on a cassette deck or tape?
What's yours, Rick?
Mine's are all sound tapes because I'm a sound man. So obviously we used to record our sessions, and I've got loads of sound tapes dating back to the mid 80s when we used to play sound. Plus I used to collect Saxon. I've got a whole load of Saxon tapes. I've got some Stone Love cassette tapes in there. I've got some of the big sounds of the 80s that was really good, like the Kilimanjaro. I've got a few of those tapes there. What other tapes do I have? And some of the old radio station tapes. So Horizon, JFM, and LWR. I've still got 1 and 2 of those jotted about somewhere. You know what I mean? So yeah. So that's my cassette tape. But moving on to that, which is very relevant to that, vinyl LPs. Over 1 million vinyl LPs were sold in the first 3 months of 2021. EastEnder, you have a record shop that sells vinyl, very old school. What is all that about?
Wow, it's, you know, when I like Peckham, I'm going to use Peckham as an example. You know, Peckham is like Brick Lane. Like if you ever used to go back to Brick Lane in London back in the day, you know, it's trendy. You know, there's lots of tourists. What's happened now is there's a new generation of people that's buying vinyl music. So the old lot, you know, the ones that used to go into Supertone and Dub Vendor and Regals over in East London, you know, it's not about them anymore. It's about a new generation that just wants something credible in their hands. Yeah. So sales have just gone off the roof, and lots of
vinyl sales contributed 86.5 million to the UK recorded music revenue in 2020. That's according, and this story is from DJ magazines. So, you've got it. Harry Styles.
You got so many good stuff.
Harry Styles.
He loves the Harry Styles, isn't it? I think Posh Peckham is taking over him, mate.
Burner Boy. These are like the big sellers at the moment.
Yeah, big album.
And then, you know, there's always some old ones that goes. Anybody know what this one is?
Shawnee B.
Yeah, Shawnee B's. Shawnee B's remix. Wow, big up Shawnee B.
I found about 10 copies, yeah. And
wow.
And I'm not even going to tell Sean.
Have you got my bootleg EP in there?
No, Reggie. Which one's yours?
I did a remix bootleg EP, but I'm not going to tell you the tracks that are on it. But I will speak to you afterwards.
It was called.
And a lot of DJs still play it.
It didn't sell.
But yeah, it's great to have vinyl back. You know, it's something that we all grew up purchasing, and it's nice to see people coming in the stores and not wanting to buy CDs, not looking for downloads, but looking for physical product, physical albums. Lovely.
So people are gonna have to start getting paid proper DJs, because obviously when you're buying vinyl music, it's a little bit more money. How much is a vinyl album now?
Oh my gosh,
25 quid,
£25, £27.99, £39.99. But I think one of the interesting things is, how much do you think a 7-inch pre is?
7-inch pre, back in my days, I used to get them at Dub Vendor. Originally, they was 99 pence or something like that, a pound or something like that, and then they went up to $4.99, I think, when I stopped buying them, or something like that. Don't know how much it is now.
What do you reckon, Rich?
About 10 quid. I know what it is because I bought a couple. So I know.
£12, £14
for a 7-inch.
For a 7-inch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I bought a couple the other day actually. So.
Richard Franklin, £17, bang on the money. Yes.
Yeah.
So people are gonna have to get a Technics 1210 deck, aren't they? Or 1200 old school. I know the silver ones are making a comeback as well.
Well, they've got the new digital ones as well. So.
Well, maybe we have to do a show on that, some throwback show on that. But that's for
definitely.
another time. Let's move on. DJ Khaled's new album lineup. Reggie Styles, you've been all
amazing. You know what? I have to say, I've got to give it to him. The best rollout ever on his Instagram, where he had a lot of DJs and a lot of people, kind of like the artists in Jamaica, where he stayed at Sandals. And he didn't disappoint. He basically has brought out an album, which is the ultimate DJ vanity project album. But the concept of it is about success. It's about celebrating success. It's about being amongst successful people. So he's got obviously Jay-Z and Nas collaboration. He's got Lil Baby. He's got Cardi B. He's got Lil Da Baby. He's got Rick Ross. He's got the big one, which I think sounds big. That I think he's definitely done it justice for Buju Banton, Capleton, and also Barrington Nevy and Bounty Killer.
Yeah,
that's a big one. Huh?
I can't wait to play that in a big sound system in a festival. I can hear it. Yeah. It's going to sound crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, okay.
And also getting a lot of traction on Twitter, the Jay-Z triple threat line with B in it.
Yeah.
Where he references Beyonce with one of his lyrics, his play on his lines. Jay-Z, he's still the GOAT anyway. He's still
He's a don.
Lyricist.
Still the GOAT. So just before we go on, Reggie, can you give me some of the tapes that some of our chat room said that they still have?
Right, let me just scroll back a bit. Apologies.
Yeah, you should have been ready for this, bro.
I've missed them. I know I saw Shy. I saw somebody say Clio. I know somebody said something about they've got a Yamaha tape that is Peter Platinum Phillips said that. There were a few. Well, there wasn't a lot actually, to be fair. Somebody mentioned R. Kelly.
Well, he's cancelled. So
Jennifer Francis. Let's call you out.
Colin Williams said he's got a sound tapes was his thing.
Yeah,
which a lot of us guys,
I see. Forget I Was a G by
Whitehead Brothers. Said Cleo. That's it.
Yeah. Forget I Was a G by Whitehead Brothers made it onto the list as well. What did I lost my train of thought. Cancelled. Yeah, cancelled. Noel Clark. Any one of my fellow presenters want to comment on the?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me personally, it was a big shock. Very big shock. I'm not somebody who knows Noel Clark personally. He's not somebody that I have spoken to on many occasions. I've seen him at events, and a couple of people in the industry are good friends with him. And at the moment there are allegations, but it's not looking very good for him. And I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to perjure anything or I don't want to affect anything that is going to help these ladies. And I think, we just got to basically call it out and say, look, do you know what? This is not right. And, for the women out there who are experiencing any abuse or experiencing any harassment, please call it out, please mention, and please do speak up. I just hope that it's a sad they didn't have the same energy for another DJ who was accused by for the black women. So, let's see what happens there and see if that reignites.
There is that, but we just hope justice prevails and justice wins out on that one, because we know certain of those allegations are very serious indeed. EastEnder, Oscar wins and Black History has been made. What's that about?
Good question. What was that one? I missed that.
Oscar win? You don't know who won an Oscar this week, no?
No, did I miss that?
Oh my days, this guy.
Oh no, I missed that one completely.
This guy. Reggie.
All right, so this is Daniel Kaluuya, one of the most famous Ugandan above Idi Amin, and he is now the Don Dada, first ever estate living. You feel me? Local living. Hey. So that's him celebrating with Notes, Buck, who manages gigs and does a lot of movies with Nikki Slimting, and of course Daniel himself with an Oscar, which is just great, fantastic. Well done and congratulations.
Well done. Excellent. And, love that.
And coming from I am the CEO of the DSS, just so you know. All right. I am the CEO of the
Just
DSS.
like to ask EastEnder if you could pay attention and not fall asleep when we have our meetings in the week, because obviously we were there. So if you could pay attention for the rest of the show, it'd be so excellent, bro. You know what I mean? We're one together, yeah. For the Jimmy Alabumi Adewale, 20, who died this week trying to save a young lady. He jumped off at London Bridge. It's all gonna be, first of all, my condolences go out to the family, mother and father. The pain I could see that they were going through this week. They did the live interviews on TV. I don't know. You see, sometimes when you think about, and that person who jumped off the bridge must have been in a bad place themselves. You know what I mean? And even worse, so that you didn't die, but still someone died in your place. And you went out to kill yourself. It's just all a bit sad this week, isn't it?
Very sad. Absolutely, very sad. And, you know, and I said a couple of weeks ago, you know, so many people are going through different things. It's very important if we can speak to someone close to you or someone you can trust and have a conversation if you're not feeling that well, you know. Like it's horrible. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, another boy this week took his life. Again, went down to Tower Bridge and jumped into it. You know, very disappointing.
So our condolences go out to the family of that, and we hope you find peace at some time. And we're all here praying for you guys as well. DMX's funeral, Reggie.
Oh man, the legend, the Don Dada, Earl Simmons, aka Darkman X, great sending off. It's so good to see so many people in and amongst there. It's a shame, you know, because of COVID, we didn't get to take the flights and get out there as well ourselves. So that's what it is. But yeah, I think we've got a VT to show.
Up on the side of the roadway there. Police motorcycle getting ahead. Trying to be part of this to catch up with those lead vehicles. We'll come back here on the Central Park Avenue. You can see that long line of motorcycles that stretches back to Yonkers Avenue. That's the overpass right there. And we can see more motorcycles making their way along Yonkers Avenue to get over to Central Park Avenue. We'll come back around here as we see the line, hundreds of motorcycles making their way out of the parking lot that serves Yonkers Raceway and Empire City Casino. Still several motorcycles to go. Some of those cars in the background there waiting their turn. They'll fall in behind the motorcycles. And so a very large procession that will be making its way down the launch those motorcycles.
Stop.
Amazing. What a send-off.
That's right. So, and before we go to our guests, in fact, before we tell you about next week's show, forthcoming mayoral election, who you voting for, East Ender?
Yes, Sadiq Khan.
You ain't gonna go for the other guy. I don't really want to say his name, but
no, I'm gonna go for Sadiq Khan.
Reggie,
is the Raven Looney Party? No,
I don't know if I particularly want to vote for either of them for very different reasons.
I'm going for. When you see it, when I put the mark,
not Sean Bailey. You could never be going for Sean Bailey.
I would never. Come on, that'd be silly. Of course not. It's definitely not Sean Bailey.
Why not Sean Bailey?
Pardon?
Why not Sean Bailey for you?
Because it doesn't agree with my ideals and values of what I want for London.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, well done, Reggie. Shut him up. Anyway, next week. Next week, producers, can we have the flyer on here for next week? Look at that. Boom. Michelle Escoffery, singer-songwriter, and she is also president of PRS. And if you don't know what PRS is, Reggie, can we break down PRS while we got the flyer on screen? If you could leave it there, please.
It's the Performance Rights Society. It is basically the society that collects all the royalties and money on behalf of performers around the UK who are British, and they do a great job, and you know they're very valuable to the music industry. And every artist, especially during lockdown, was probably very, very happy to be looking forward to their PRS check.
Well, we'll find out. We will find that out. But Michelle Escoffery, part of the Escoffery sisters, and also part of was it Truce? Was it Truce East?
Yes, Truce.
Yes. From the 80s, from the 90s. Mm-hmm. And she also used to rave with us in night moves as well. You know what I mean? Back in the day, the girls used to come down there and support us and support the Mandem on a Sunday night. So I look forward to talking to one of the big cheeses. She's got a big role, big shoes to fill, but we know that Michelle can do that. We'll be talking to her live next week, Saturday, right here. And also a live performance by JB Rose, East Ender.
Yes, another UK fine artist. Also, you know, one of our street sound brothers, Pete Andrew. That's his sister. And she will be performing 2 songs next week. She's got a brand new single that came out on Friday, and she will be giving us an exclusive of another song that will be on her forthcoming album.
Right. Okay. Thank you a lot. Right. So let's get to it. We have our guests waiting in the green room. We've got a lot to get through tonight. We have a performance by DCS and
DCR.
DCR. I was going to say DCR, you know. And DCR. I don't know why I said that. Anyway,
We all get
DCR.
it wrong sometimes, right? Not to worry.
I will get my hand slapped later on. We also have the owner for the plantation, or the yard, should I say, Jerry Bascombe, coming up very soon. He's looking all rich and stuff. We had a talk in the pre-back room. I tell you what, he's looking like $1 billion himself, and we'll be talking to him later on. But first and foremost, Reggie's going to introduce a gorgeous UK performer for us. Reggie, take it over.
Okay, so if you're a big fan of UK music and in particular soul and R&B, we have a special moment. We're so privileged to have a nominated Mobo and Mercury Prize Award nominee. And also she's just a bundle of positivity. She's got great vibes. She's amazing. Please welcome the lovely Terry Walker to set the trend.
Jerry! I changed my outfit for you, look, because you don't make me feel bad about being put back. Right.
No. Who said
Reggie, Terry, Reggie is very fertile at the moment. You have to, you might have to go put on an overcoat at the minute. Our viewers will know over the last few weeks, boy, he's been chomping at the bit.
You know what? Yeah, crap.
Terry's family, mate. Terry's family.
No, all day family, all day.
All-day family. So, Terry, I mean, you know, for a lot of people who are on the a lot of our audience, you were born in the UK, and you grew up in Germany, wasn't it? How, you know, what was it like coming from Germany?
No, well, I was born in the UK for the age, so I was here until I was 4. Then I moved to Germany at the age of 4, and I was there until I was 18. So I was there for 13 years. But I mean, for me, you know, I think for me, what it was, I think growing up in Germany just gave me a whole new perspective of life. Like, you know, being around a lot of white people, obviously, you know, but being Jamaican, and I know it doesn't mean we're all black. Being Jamaican is a different thing. You have to understand, being Jamaican is a different thing than just being anything else. You know, Jamaicans, we're too bossy, you know everything, we're better than everybody, you know what I mean? So the confidence is a different kind of, make sure you get rid of everything in the background. Jesus, I just realized the background. So growing up in Germany with my mum, who's very confident, who was also very much of a trendsetter, and she was very much a very confident black woman. And I think for me, seeing her, the way she navigated her way throughout being around a country that is not for her, like that wasn't, you know, that didn't necessarily represent her, made me see myself in a way that I'm probably, you know, most people don't see themselves, because my stepdad, who was German, obviously my real dad is Jamaican, but my stepdad was German. He gave her the platform for her to just be herself and just, you know, just live life. And I think growing up in Germany just gave me a whole different view of how to navigate through life. And I think when I came back to England, it was such a different way, because when you come back here, there's so many restrictions, there's so many boxes. Oh, you're Caribbean, you're black, you're this. Whilst in Germany, it was very much like you're black, but oh my God, you're exotic. Oh my God, it's amazing. They're so excited about you. Whilst here, it's like,
exotic.
No, in Germany, you were exotic. Over here, we're like, oh, you're just Caribbean, you're black, whatever, innit? Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, and you can speak German quite fluently, can't you?
Ich spreche jetzt fließend Deutsch, ja? Ich kann mir alles sagen. Was willst du wissen?
Dankeschön, guten Tag.
Dankeschön, bitte, ja.
That's about it. No, but I don't actually anymore.
Yeah.
So, in Germany, is that where you found your love for soul music, or what music were you kind of like growing up and listening around in Germany then? Was it Euro trash, like doom, 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 or what was it?
Reggie, I'm going to come and slap you when I see you.
Okay.
No, what it was, you remember, again, having Caribbean parents, you know, as a kid, you go to sleep, listen to music, and you wake up, listen to music. There was always music in my house. So my mum always played a lot of whispers, a lot of reggae, I love everything. My mum was very in tune with everything. I was a good talk. I see someone go, couldn't talk in the comments. Couldn't talk.
Biscuit.
So So my influences have always been very, very open, very wide, because my mum loved all type of music, but I was definitely very much soul and R&B and reggae.
So that's a great inspiration. I mean, from finding music, obviously you found your voice. You have a really fantastic voice.
Thank you.
And if nobody's heard it yet, where have you been? I would ask you, well, what day did you find your voice? But, I'd like to know, how have you managed to look after your voice from beginning as a singer to now? I mean, it seems like if it's aged like fine wine, it's just got better and better and better, whereas most singers tend to go in the reverse. How have you managed to keep such a great voice?
The point is, just remember, everyone in my family wasn't from a musical background, so I had to kind of literally teach myself. I had to do singing lessons, all that stuff. So I taught myself how to sing in a way. So when I first started out, my mom would be like, "Shut up your mouth! You're making too much noise in the house. Oh, shut up! It's just rubbish. Be quiet." That's what I had to do with. So I had to find my voice. So to be honest, I'm kind of aging backwards. No, I'm kind of developing backwards because I didn't start off with the privilege of being around singers. I started off with people that didn't know how to sing. So I had to literally get to myself to this point. So everything, the older I'm getting, the better my voice is getting because I'm understanding it more, So
well, hold on, are you not classical trained?
Yes, this is the thing. So when I went to boarding school, when I came back to England, so obviously when I was still living in Germany, but I went to boarding school in England whilst I was living in Germany. And then the only way that I could have singing lessons was by getting classical training. And the teacher that taught me, she was like, "Oh, why do you want to sing the secular music?" She really wanted me to be an opera singer, but I didn't want to do it. Obviously, I wanted to sing Whitney Houston. Come on, every black girl that saw Whitney Houston for the first time, she was like, "Oh, why do you want to sing that? You could be an opera singer." And I'm like, "I don't want to do that." So but the thing is, the training that gave me is the projection, it's the confidence of being able to be on stage and being able to go wah without having to have a mic. You just own it. Being an opera singer, you have to be able to own the stage and know your vocals.
Terry, can you give us a little piece of opera while you're in that zone, please?
Right, man, my voice is a bit thingy.
Yeah, she hasn't warmed up, put on the spot.
Like right now, my voice.
Wow, yeah, she ain't got a chance to warm up her voice. Still sounds better than most people, anyway.
Yeah, I can do. Could do all that, like it comes, like it's there, like naturally comes to warm up a bit, But this thing, this is the thing about being singers, and I think a lot of people always get this wrong. It's like sometimes people think you have to do all these theatrics. It's more about tone, timing, and even tone, timing, and character. The thing is, when you think about some of the best singers that you've ever heard, they're not necessarily the best, like overly flamboyant singers, but they're the ones that can get the message across. And I think obviously when you have people like Whitney Houston and whatever else, but some of the best singers are really the ones that can tell you the message. I mean, I'm doing this tribute for Marvin Gaye and the BBC6 on BBC 6 in the next few days, and I'm listening back to. I had to learn some of the songs, and when you listen to him singing, he's not belting, he's not doing bare theatrics, but he's just singing in such a subtle way. And I remember back in the day when I started singing, I used to think that I had to scream and shout for everyone to think that I could sing. But the best singers that we all love are the ones that just tell us a story. You know?
Yeah, would you classify yourself as a neo soul singer or a singer?
I love that you asked this question. You know what? See you, Reggie. This is why you do what you do. You understand?
But it weren't Reggie. It was EastEnders still. But anyway, I know they look the same.
When I came into the
I'll take it anyway. I'll take it.
See, you stop hating on Reggie. You look back when I came into the scene, a lot of people I think used to think, "Oh, she's a neo soul singer." And I think because I came from Germany, a lot of people didn't know that about me, so everyone assumed that I was just, from America, even from America, or from a background. Because I had the first record with Most Def, everyone assumed that I'm a soul singer, but that's how I started out. But I think like Tina Turner, we're universal. Like we influence so much. We influence us little things that we do. We influence so much. I don't see myself as anything. I don't see myself as a singer. But obviously, I'm a soul singer because I can't sing from the soul. So I'm a soul singer.
Soul singer.
Singing. Talking about variety of singing, a lot of people don't know that you are also singing a lot of the house and garage, namely Shanks and Bigfoot, Sweet Like Chocolate. Some people in our team, can you believe it? Some people in our team didn't even know that you were the singer for Sweet Like Chocolate. Sweet Like Chocolate.
No, wrong. I didn't sing Sweet Like Chocolate. No, I sang the second single, Sing Along.
No, stop. Say that again, Terry.
Say that again. Yo, Reggie. Hello.
No, I didn't sing Sweet Like Chocolate. No, what I did is I sang the whole album. When I had to do all the festivals, I sang that song.
Woo!
Oh my God, Biggie's gonna kill me. That's it.
There's a reason why. Sorry, there's a reason why the team didn't know she sang that.
No, because you know what it was? Basically, I did the whole album. I didn't do that song, but we went to number 12. The song that I did, but the song that I did sing was Sing Along. But I used to sing all the songs in the festivals for Sweet Like Chocolate. But yeah, sorry, Rich.
Sorry, apologies.
Reggie,
Sorry.
I'm glad
You know
asked.
that's what it is. You know,
Reggie, I'm glad you asked that question.
Can I just say?
No defense, Rich. No defense.
Because
Christian Rich, no
I've
defense.
always seen you perform the record. I thought you were the original singer. That's why.
Yeah, no, it's Sharon Wolf. Big up Sharon
Right.
Wolf.
Okay. There we go. So that's why.
No, there you go, Rich. You told us all up in the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Oh
right,
no,
right.
veg.
Anyway, talking about performances, tell us some of your some of your favorite performances.
Oh my God, Glastonbury, obviously, performing at the Royal Albert Hall. Jules Holland. Obviously, I think anyone as an artist, if you're from England, being on Jules Holland is basically it's the pinnacle of you being able to say you've made it. Like so, Jules Holland, and you know what? To be honest with you, Jazz Cafe, being able to sell out my own show at Jazz Cafe a few times, it's one of those things where remember Jazz Cafe is one of those places where real singers and real people that people respect come from. So those type of moments for me.
And you're not small time either, because you have worked with some great people and some great labels from Def Jam, Rockefeller Records, Mercury. I mean, tell us some of your favorite people, producers, and also other artists that you've kind of like done music with.
Well, obviously for me, when it comes to people like producers and stuff, I think Salam Remy. Do you guys know who Salam Remy is?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I do.
Salam Remy.
Rich, do you know?
Yes, I do know Salam Remy.
No, but the thing is, most people don't. Because when it comes to when you think about Amy Winehouse or even Nas, whatever else, people don't mention him because he doesn't. He's not someone that really puts himself in the forefront.
Yeah, he's quiet.
Salam Remy, I've worked with him a lot. We still work together now, and I think for me, knowing that he was one of the first people to kind of influence. There's a remix by Fugees. I don't know. Do you guys remember Fugees? Obviously, no. Yeah. But remember, there was the first one before he became famous.
Terry's now questioning our credibility because of
Do you know who we are? Do you know who we are, Terry?
No, you see the thing is with Fugees there. The thing is, before Fugees became famous, people don't know about them before it. So there was a record called Nappy Heads. I wear my sunglasses to wear on my girlfriend.
We're there from the beginning, baby. We know.
Yeah, but remember, so the thing is, a lot of people before that remix, there was an album out that was a load of crap. It was so bad. Like I remember living in Germany. Me and my mum heard this record on the TV, and we ran out to get this album, and then we realized that song wasn't on the album, and then we found out it was a remix, and it turns out the remix was Salam Remy. So Salam Remy is the one that gave him the sound. When it came to the score on the Fugees, the whole with them doing Ready or Not, Here I Come. Salam was the one that said to him, guys, you should do this. And even so when I'm working with Salam, I'm like, yo, Salam, you kind of birthed Lauryn Hill. Then there was Amy Winehouse. Then there was the Nas Made You Look record. So me being able to work with him now, Jasmine Sullivan, Miguel. I was there when Miguel made that record, All I Want Is You. Remember that record?
Wow, okay.
He recorded that and he didn't even know his voice. So for me, Salam Remy is the ultimate for me when it comes to producers because he makes people Dynamite. He produced that. You understand? Like,
wow.
He makes people become who they become.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Salam Remy is one of the first people for me.
And one of your records that we are definitely familiar with on the street sound scene is This Is My Time, which samples adventures in music. Why? I mean, when you were recording that record at the time, did you? I know it didn't get a commercial release for it. What do you think was the reason? And at that time, obviously, in the music industry wasn't as receptive to soul music as it is now. Do you think that's one of the reasons, or?
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be really honest about this whole situation. I think for me at that time, I didn't know who I was. So when I made that record, I didn't even know what that sample was. I was just like, I was singing along. The guys that produced that record were two Danish guys. Yeah. I didn't know the history of that record. I didn't know the history of that sample. So when after I did that record and it did its thing, because remember they released Whoopsie Daisy for my first single of the album, which then obviously everyone was like, what the hell is Terry Walker doing? Which is so far removed from what I do. So and that was meant to be actually meant to be the first single, but it didn't come out. But then when I look back now, and I've been around, Dame Dash and Ski Beats, who obviously produced the Latrini record. This is it. What Latrini coming from the sky? This is it. What? Remember that's the record.
Yeah.
So when I found out about the whole history of where it come from, I understand that the reason why I probably didn't hit is because I didn't know my history, and I was the one that needed to, really make sure that people understood why I'm doing what I'm doing. I was just happy to be there when I was there. Remember, I was young. I got signed very young without knowing the industry. So I think now the times that we're in, with all the outlets and all the situations that we have, like you guys even doing this right now, it's so dope. Like being able to sit here talking to you guys and we're able to say what we want to say. This is ours. We didn't have that 10 years ago. I think the reason why I didn't make it, I'm chatting rubbish, but I didn't make it. I made it because I was everywhere. I was on all platforms.
Yeah, exactly.
I got crazy. But the only thing is that black people, our own people didn't see it. They just saw it. Remember when it comes to us black people, we have to see it. You don't see it. We don't care if white people like it. It's great, great, whatever. We have to see it for ourselves, isn't it? So white people, they love me. I was everywhere, but my own people didn't understand what I had done, isn't it? So now, coming back now, being able, even with social media now, being able to go back and see, oh wow, she's done all this stuff. The reason I'm even on with you lot today, and I can talk about this, is because the work that I put in. So I think everything happened for a reason. So I'm glad it happened that way. So
Terry, I saw a comment from one of our viewers. They said if you was in America, you would have been much bigger than you were in the UK.
You know what? I think I might have been, but to be fair, it would have been such a novelty and an obvious thing. I mean, I think the difference between us and the US is that they have that audience already and they have a platform for it. We don't have that infrastructure. I think we're starting it now. Like as I said, with you guys now, and with us, becoming our own entities. And I think, I might have been big, but I don't think it would have really made a difference because it wouldn't be great. I would have been big in America.
Marsha's done well. Marsha Ambrose.
Yeah, but when she comes over here, and Marsha Ambrose is a legend, but when she comes over here, no one even knows she's here. Remember, English. That's one thing we have adopted from the white people over here. This so stiff upper lip. We love the underdog. If you make it, whatever, we don't care. We want it to be our own, isn't it? So until we make it here, it doesn't make a difference. Making it in America is good. To make it here, you have to make it our own. So
very true.
My favorite Terry Walker song is Drawing Board.
Yeah, that's everyone.
Board.
That's my first one, James Bond, Louise Francis.
This one.
Tell me a little bit of the story behind that song.
Again, that song, I didn't write that song. That song was written for me by Louise Francis and produced by James Yard. And I just got my deal with Def Jam Mercury. And I remember they heard the few songs that I got signed with. And I remember she was just talking to me, the girl that wrote the song, about, my experiences with men. Not saying that I'm that kind of person, by the way. Anyway, but yeah, that's just about meeting guys, and sometimes it doesn't fit, and you keep. Why are you laughing? What are you smiling for, vibes? Behave yourself. But it's all about it was just about me being honest about how I meet someone, it doesn't work out, and we keep it moving. So that is really what that song's really about. If I'm being honest.
Wicked. And so you're now independent on the independent route at the moment. And
since 2005, independent.
Yeah, exactly. And how's that going for you?
Do you know what? It's really weird because what's really crazy? COVID and even lockdown is such a sad and horrible time for everybody. But I think it's been a time of reflection. It's been a time of empathy, and I think it's been a time for people to understand it. I think it's weeded out a lot of the people that think they're about this life, but they're not. Like you guys might be about this life. You guys have been doing this podcast regardless. Remember, you've probably been doing this before anyone was doing this. But now people are paying attention because this is what you do. So I think the independent life for me right now, this past few years has been the best thing because now everyone's understanding that, listen, I'm working a side job, but I'm still doing the music. So now you listen to what I'm saying more than you would have been before. So it's been great.
Yeah. I mean, I love that record, Feel Right, that you did with like the Joe Buddha stuff. I think the Joe Buddha stuff is amazing. Yeah, so I really loved it. And any plans to do any shows? Because I know we're going to try and get you to do a live session for us here in Set the Trend in the studio.
Yeah.
I want to make this standard before we go. Actually, I wanted to say the reason I didn't come and perform tonight is because my setup here is not the best. So I just want to make sure if I come here, I want to do you guys justice, innit? So don't think I'm being a diva. I want to come in and be there with you lot, and I want to see your vibes with me while I spit down and sing, you know. So
no problem. And if you haven't seen Terry perform, you don't know what you're missing, man. She is just such a good vibe. The positivity that every time I speak to Terry, the positivity that comes out of this woman, every artist should have that same positivity and glow. And it's so amazing to be in your company in the rare occasion.
You say that about positive for me, like it's us as a people. Remember everything that we've gone through. The fact that we still get up and do what we do after everything we've been through, it's our heritage. This is what we do. So I'm only extending what we've gone, and I'm just trying to remind us we are amazing, innit? That's the only reason I'm positive. I want you to remind you guys. Oh, you understand? So that's the only reason I'm positive, because being negative and keep doing the whole same narrative of being what happened to us, we get it, but we've come past that now. So that's the only reason I'm positive. You have to be.
Wicked. All right. So tell us before we go, tell us what you've got out at the moment and where we can get your stuff.
Okay, I'm on. As I said, my Facebook got hacked. So annoying. I'm on Instagram. I am Terry Walker, and I'm on Twitter. The Real MZ Walker. Someone stole my name, so The Real MZ Walker. And obviously because there's not any shows right now, but I've got my show on Soho Radio, which is called The Melting Pot. I do once a month, and I've had people like Jules Holland on. I've had people like Omar on, Donny, Cherry V, Michelle Escoffrey. I want to have people like Jazzy B. I had Fisco on. So basically, what I do in that show once a month, where I celebrate the people that have shaped me and maybe become the person that I am, and have allowed me to become. You know what I mean? So I might have you on, Reggie, just to say, look, you know what, you're doing this show. Talk to me about your experiences that made you become who you are. It's like a soundtrack. It's like a soundtrack to your life situation. So can
I invite EastEnder and vibes with me? Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'll love that. So the three of you can talk about your influences, and we can just talk about why. And that's
on Soho Radio. And if you're in the West End, you can actually walk past the studio and see Terry broadcasting.
Yes. So it's once a month. So that to me right now is the thing that I'm driving the most. But obviously once the show starts to come in, just follow me on Instagram, you'll see it.
Terry, thank you so much. We wish you all the best for this summer, and we're looking forward to having you back on again. Thank you so much for your time and coming on Set the Trend. Really appreciate it. Love you lots.
In the building. Oh, beautiful.
It's like chocolate, but not the voice behind it.
What's that? You be rude.
Yeah, it's been feisty.
What are you saying?
My days, the lovely, the beautiful soul, songstress, Terry Walker. That's the first time, even back in the day, I don't think I got to interview her. So that's the first proper interview done. And she's being so up close and personal with her. That was so good. So fresh, a breath of fresh air.
Lovely spirit.
And the comments coming in are just amazing. Everybody's loving Terry
Walker. Anyway, Jerry's got a lot. Jerry has a lot to now stand up to. And this is going to be, I say some of them are my favorite interviews. And this is Jerry Bascombe is actually one of my main promoters who books me and hires me to come and play at his events. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's your boss.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. He pays the wages. He's the boss. I don't see why you have a problem with that. I think you've got that little man syndrome. You know what I'm saying to you, or that Shanks and Bigfoot syndrome. I don't know. You know what I mean, like something like that going on. But
oh man, I'm not going to live that down. Jesus.
But we will find out. Set the trend. We've asked him before, and he said he would come on. He doesn't usually do interviews. He doesn't like doing interviews. He doesn't like sharing his journey. But today he's going to share that with us. He's a CEO of needaplacetogo.co.uk. He does various amount of promotions, not only in the UK, but Grenada and some other parts of the world. Can you welcome former Choice FM DJ as well? Can you welcome to Set the Trend, Jerry Bascombe in the building? CEO of Soul of London Radio in the building.
You guys
And he's on the plantation today. You're looking all like rich. Money's in the hey, Grenada dear. You got some money over there.
You guys are better than mainstream media, mate. You blow things out 10 times out of proportion.
Jerry, you look like $1 million there, mate.
I wish I had $1 million. I'd like to be 10 pence behind you. Seriously. The amount of money you've got, it's unbelievable.
Isn't it? We all know about the yellow bag.
Stop that.
Listen,
Jerry,
don't believe the hype. Whatever you do, don't believe the hype. All right. Can you guys hear me properly, actually?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, great stuff. You know, first and foremost, I must say hi to everybody who's been sending messages, not only to me, but through your Facebook feed and your YouTube feed. And I must say hi to everybody who's contributed to that. All right. And by the way, I just saw Peter Platinum Phillips send a message, and he's meant to be doing his show right now. So sort it out.
He's
meant to be on the radio right now, the Soul of London Radio.
The Soul of London Radio also goes out in Grenada, doesn't it? I mean, it's not only just in London. You actually
it syndicates to the island of Grenada on 90.9 and FM. Why? Because I came over here, I think it was March. No, not actually March. It was June 2013. My mum developed dementia. God rest her soul. She developed dementia, and I came over in June 2013 to look after her. And but unfortunately, she didn't last too long. She only lasted about 6 weeks. So she passed away at the end of August 2013. Now, during that 6 weeks period, or whatever period it was, I was just driving around Grenada, and with all due respect to all the radio stations here, they do a fantastic job, but I couldn't hear what I wanted to hear, which was soul, jazz, revival, lovers rock, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I just applied to. You have to actually apply to the government for a radio station. They don't just give you a radio station or a license just in case you become all political and you talk negative against the current government. So, but the thing is, I presented it to lovely, dear woman, Alex Otway Noel. She was the Minister of Tourism then, because I felt that I can bring something or bridge that gap between the UK and Grenada. Mm-hmm. And plus it was my love. And I sent her an unorthodox message via Facebook, because I've never met her before. And she responded within minutes, because I sent the idea, and she loved it. Within 5 minutes, she responded, and she said, "My office in about half an hour's time." And I went to her office at the, I think it was at the Parliament building, mm-hmm. Sat down, and we're best buddies to this very day. And she put it forward to Parliament, because it has to go through that sort of process.
To be ratified, yeah.
That's right. And but I had to wait. It took about a year. No, yes, it did. It took about a year, because I think I turned on the transmitter the end of November 2014. So it was just over a year later that I received the license. It just goes through lots of process.
So you've been going,
and obviously they have to vet me as well.
So how long's that now you've been going? For 2016, what's that, 5 years, 6 years, 5 years?
No, it's 2014, November 2014. Yes, sorry, 7 years.
Wow, that's gone quick.
So yeah, that's how that came about, and still going today. Got lots of support from lots of locals. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing.
But your journey never started in Grenada for us lot, really. It started in good old West London, Ladbroke Grove, to be
Ladbroke Grove.
Ladbroke Grove, Latimer Road.
Ladbroke Grove, Latimer Road. That was my area. that was raised, met
What
so many
secondary
people.
school did you go?
Well, I could start from the beginning, actually. My infant's school was Warnington, which is just off Goulburn Road, if anybody knows Labatt Grove. Warnington, and then I went to, just around the corner, Bevington Primary School. So, and then I went to Holland Park.
Oh yeah, we know Holland Park. Used to play them in basketball. Yeah, basketball. That was very good at
And-
basketball.
and what was you like? What was you like as a school child? What was you like?
A well-behaved one. You know why? Because the fear of my mother. We're at a parents' meeting. I didn't want any. And my mother was the sort of person that she would pinch you. She would bring the belt at the meeting if you had a bad report, without a doubt, mate. So yeah, but do you know that was one of the best years of my life? I still remember names of classmates. I loved my secondary school. So hi to all those who went to Holland Park. I won't say what year I left. That'll give it away.
When did the love of music become something to Jerry Bascombe?
I think first of all it was the love of radio. My dad, another one, God rest his soul. My dad put. I can't remember how old I was. I think I might have been about 7. My dad bought a classic radio, but this radio had long wave, medium wave, AM, FM.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even think FM was out then. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But it definitely had AM, because I remember, I don't know if my dad was winding us up, but me and my brother, he used to get this radio, and it was one of those radios what went radio Caroline. So trying to tune it in.
Transistor.
So I think it was that's exactly a transistor radio, and he was trying to pick up Grenada radio back then. But for some reason, we kind of believed him. Says, "Look, listen." But I can't remember. It's not clearly in my mind. But it was the love of radio. When I first heard radio presenters, at the age of 7, 8, I don't know how old I was, and for some reason, I do remember saying that I want to be a radio presenter. It wasn't even DJ then; it was a disc jockey.
So, what kind of music though? Cool.
Everything, pop. It was whatever was playing. It was Radio Caroline, Radio Luxembourg. I do remember tuning into Radio Luxembourg. So it was top of the pop stuff.
I know some of our younger viewers won't even know what we're talking about.
Well, Radio Luxembourg. Yeah, I think I can't remember which. I can't remember if it was in Luxembourg. If it was in Luxembourg, but we could definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
But I'm sure somebody will put in the chat.
Isn't it? Wasn't that the days when they were broadcasting of ships in the ocean? I think
That's Radio Caroline. Okay, so Radio Caroline obviously was a pirate radio station, but they knew that if they broadcast just outside the UK territory, so basically they were based on a ship, and they broadcast, and many house name radio presenters was on that radio station. So many. I'm sure Reggie knows. Do you?
He does.
Tony Blackburn.
Yeah,
Kenny
definitely.
Everett, Tony Blackburn, Kenny Everett.
There's so many. So many. Too many to even mention.
So Jerry, so on that journey, so you found the love of music. So we find, look
Yeah, that's right. Radio Luxembourg. That looks like DJ Lane there.
John Peel.
Oh, dear.
John Peel. Yeah, John
Talking about
Peel.
DJ Lane. Hi, DJ Lane. Great interview last week. Definitely inspired me to do it.
So Jerry, so there's got to be a point where you fall in love with music, you fall in love with radio presenting, you fall in love with a style of music. Then what do you start doing? Do you start going to a club? Do you start buying music? Do you how was your love of music then evolved? How did it evolve?
Yeah. I mean, before that, I didn't know how I was going to be a radio presenter or DJ, should we say. But a good buddy of mine, Brian Mitchell, Darkman, he started a radio station a pirate radio station many years ago. I'm sure we were in our teens, 19, probably 20, 21. But Darkman has got a memory of an elephant. Seriously, his memory goes back. He could name everything. Every time he calls me up, he'll say, "Jerry, do you remember blah blah?" I said, "Brian, I don't know, but I can't remember." But anyway, he started a radio station. I think it was called WBLS. I think he called it WBLS after, obviously, the radio station in the UK, in New York. Mm-hmm. And I do remember being on there. And I'm sure he had the actual station and the setup upstairs at his mum's shop in Goldhawk Road.
And Darkman was, of course, he was one of our biggest UK rap artists in the UK, wasn't he?
Yes. We were so proud of him. You know, there were 6 of us, 6 close friends. There's not many people I can say close friends, but Brian Mitchell, Lawrence Williams, Andrew Ware, Claude Walker, oh my gosh, Aaron Hercules. Well, you know Aaron, Reggie.
Yeah, top manager.
And Michael, I think, don't you?
Yep.
Yep. Aaron Hercules. We were 6 buddies. And we were so proud when he released that single. I think it was Yabba Dabba Doo or Who's the Dark Man or something like that.
I mean, at that point where you've talked about him, let's bring Darkman to the stage because we've got him in the background,
What?
haven't we? So, Darkman.
Surprise!
Welcome to Set the Trend, Darkman.
Darkman CEO.
Vibes, Reggie, Jerry,
What's going on, Mr.
Mr.
Steve?
Eastender. Big
How
shout.
you doing, sir?
Nice one. You all right?
Yeah.
All right.
Nice
How's it been going for you, Darkman? We haven't seen you in a long while. How's it been going for you? How have you been finding COVID and this whole infection?
Like Jerry was looking after mum as well, you know, and this lockdown thing was a bit of freedom for me actually. I was more free than when I was looking after mum, so it didn't faze me at all. I mean, there was a lot of deaths and stuff like that, which is very sad. But apart from that, I got a little bit of exercise. I've got to walk in the park, and no one is around.
How did you meet? So how was your relationship with Jerry? Because Jerry said that you had a community radio station.
Yeah.
I don't know how you wing that one in your mum's yard, but hey, your mum must have been one of them calm black women.
If you remember, we had a record shop called Vinyl Lab, which I had that with Steve Jerv.
Mm-hmm.
And in the evenings, we'd use part of that shop as to do a little bit of radio, and that was it.
Did your mum know there was a radio station going up there?
Pardon?
Did your mum know that there was a radio station like when you started it, or did you channel her? Huh?
She thought we was playing music. Say that, bro. Say that. So we just had to draw on our strengths, and Jerry was one of them. So, you know, just pull all your mates in to come and play some music.
What type of music did you schedule Jerry into play?
Well,
God knows if you remember that.
Because we actually come from the first West London street sound, which is Platinum Sound.
Well, it was actually called Kicker B, wasn't it?
Kicker B. Yeah, Kicker B, and then translated it, and then it evolved into Platinum Sound, and then Jerry was one of the DJs alongside myself, and the thing is, we liked a lot of ladies to attend our gig.
It's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting.
I make sure I finish the sentence.
Yeah, please do.
We liked a lot of ladies to attend the gigs, so we actually invented the free ladies free.
Mm-hmm.
So they used to come in free. Oh, right.
What time were they free before though, Darkman, in those days?
They were free all night. Yeah, we done that for free. Then I think.
How old were we? When was it in the teens? 19, 20? I think it was 19.
17. Yeah, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, it was. It
So
was.
what's that? 1971.
Easy.
He wasn't even born then, were he? No. So what we like, because we liked a lot of ladies to attend, we only played Rare Groove and Lovers Rock. You remember that? Yeah.
Well, I can't even remember playing Rare Grooves because, funny enough, I'm glad you brought that up because, as far as I remember, we used to play. What was it? Acton blues. We used to play blues dances at the age of 19, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember just playing Lovers Rock all night. But the only time we ever used to play soul, but it was brand new soul back then. I mean, it's obviously Rare Groove now, but brand new soul. We only played 2 or 3 soul music just so that people can go to the bar to get a drink.
Yeah.
And then it was back to Lovers Rock again.
Back to rubbing.
Right there. Let me stop right there because this is a thing that I keep up in the Breakfast Blues when I do Saturday morning. Dartman, and I'm going to ask Jerry this, so I'm going to give Jerry a bit more time to think about this. Dartman, can you remember from them days what was your best rub?
Rub.
Best rub?
No. I said rubbings with the lady.
He knows what I mean. He knows what I mean.
I think I can remember the record, but I can't remember who I was dancing with.
Okay, well, what's the record then?
Easy like Sunday morning.
Rudy Thomas.
Nah.
No, which one?
I think it's Tradition. Was it Tradition?
I know it sounds funny, but I just
Yeah.
Because I mean, someone in the chat room.
Yes, someone in the chat room.
Yeah, that was my official best dance. Yeah.
So Jerry, what was your favorite tune to rub?
I don't even know.
You don't even know. Hey, don't change the thing, no, you know.
You know, I remember, to tell you the truth, the only person I remember dancing with, respectively, was, in fact, one of my best friends, Andrew Brian. Andrew Ware.
Yeah.
And that's the only person I remember dancing with back then. And it was I'll tell you exactly where it was. It was in Latimer Road. There was a sound called Trojan. Trojan. Matthew and his brothers. Fantastic. Manny, exactly. There was a sound called, exactly. So Trojan, and they used to play at, it was called Methodist. That was the name of the venue. But it was actually underneath a church, like the crypt of the church or something like that. And that I remember that was my first dance. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was like this. Obviously, I kind of mastered it now, but that's my first time I remember. And it was Pamela. That's fine.
So Dartman, did you? So when he was a selector of your sound, so he was a co-selector with you. It was 2 of you or 3 of you selecting, or it was just 2?
I think it was just the 2 of us.
It's just 2 of us. Yeah, but
it was just 2 of us.
Some of the crew would buy records, but it's only us what was kind of interested in actually playing music.
So what did you think of his skills as a selector at the time?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Somebody said Jimmy Lindsay as the artist.
Easy like Sunday morning, yeah.
Right.
So
it was. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So so who grew first? So Jerry. So you supported Jerry in his DJ.
Yeah.
With the community station, with the sound. When that was finishing, how were you two going different ways, or how did that happen?
Well, then we had the record shop, and which was Vinyl Lab, and Jerry was going to go on Choice. So then,
I think
so I think Jerry went on Choice, and we continued with the record shop, and Aaron sort of branched out into the music. Oh, actually, Aaron, I blagged it that he was my manager when we went to get the record deals, and then he got into the record industry like that. So,
okay.
Yeah,
Aaron actually manages Patrick Hutchison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Patrick Hutchison is who? For some of the people who do.
Sorry, Patrick Hutchison is. I think that's his surname, isn't it? He's the young man who carried it was during the Black Lives Matter. He was the one who carried the white guy on the shoulder. Yeah, so he manages him as well.
Yeah, but Aaron's also managed quite a few big acts, hasn't he?
He's managed so many.
I'm sure he managed the architects, like the people in Body
Yes, he
Group.
did.
He also managed Connor Maynard and quite a few.
Exactly.
And you
Hill
mentioned
Street Soul.
earlier. What's that girl?
Hill Street Soul.
Poetry.
Yes, that's
I think
right.
he had them when they done the Michael Jackson track.
Yeah.
So we all kind of, three of us, we kind of stayed in the music game.
Together. So, Dartman, tell us something about Jerry that nobody knows.
Easy. Like, let's cut this off now.
Because Dartman, you remember everything.
I think my mum gave him his first Jerry curl.
Did you have a Jerry curl? Ah, Jerry.
I think our producer
Jerry Curl Jerry.
Our producer
Yeah,
got that picture with the Jerry curl. No, that's not Jerry.
Listen, back then it was the in thing.
Was
Back then it was the in thing. It was in thing. You can't get away from that one.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah, it was because obviously Mrs. Mitchell had the hairdressers. So it was just easy. I just walked in. I said, "Hi, Mum," because I used to call her Mum. I said, "Hi, Mum. Can you just, make me look fancy?" So I had a Jerry curl.
Okay.
That was it, really. I can't say too much.
No.
You can. You're friends for life. Dartman, you're friends for life. So whatever you say.
Off camera. I biscuit. I just saw your message there.
So, Dartman, before you go, a couple of things. We need to get you back on this program to make sure you talk about Street Sounds system.
Definitely.
And your sound. We definitely want to cover that. 2, what are you getting up to nowadays?
Well, what can I say? I've got a portfolio in Grenada and in the UK doing properties.
All right.
It's actually 2 generations deep now, going into the 3rd gen. Started with my parents, and I've added to the party, basically.
So are those properties that we can rent if we're going out for a holiday, or they're just properties that you rent out there that you buy and use?
No, my properties in Grenada are strictly student lets for SDU, the university. And we did have another building which was for the hotel staff of Sandals, but since the pandemic, that went pear-shaped. So those buildings are now with the SDU as well. Yeah.
Okay.
University.
Are you still in the music business at all, Dartman? Is there anything to come?
Well, I'm meeting with this guy called Groucho, Paul Schmeichel, who was Island's indoor engineer, and he's refurbishing and rejigging the studio here at my house. So this is where we recorded all our stuff back in the 90s. And then brought it to the big studios.
So we can expect some songs, some new artists, some new stuff from you coming out soon?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Excellent.
There's another secret. Oh, yeah, Cassius. Jerry managed Cassius.
Yeah. We're going to get onto his
Yeah,
management
you did it.
days. We're going to get onto that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but nice one for that. Dartman, thanks for coming on. Don't be a stranger. I just want to say salute, bro, because you was one of the man them that, represented hip hop for the streets back in the day, and and really burst that ceiling for a lot of the UK rap artists. From we're talking about Stormzy's and the heady ones. If it wasn't for you guys, there's no way that the path would have been laid so easy for those guys to get what they get. So we just salute.
Thanks,
yeah.
Salute. Thanks, EastEnders. Good luck, Joe.
Yes, mate. Nice one.
Yeah,
I'll call you later.
Yeah.
That was
We got Kenny Kells. How you doing, Kells? A long time.
Yeah, funny enough, you should say that, Vibes, is that we didn't think of it like that, laying the foundation for those who are around now. Although it was way back. I can't even remember the year when he released his first single. But I'm sure it was Who's the Dark Man or either Yabba Dabba Doo or something like that. Can't remember.
Well, the big hit was Yabba Dabba Doo.
Yabba Dabba Doo, yeah.
Wow. I played it on the radio once.
Yeah.
A bit cheeky. You're a bit cheeky, son. Once, he said once, He's been up on the radio once.
By the way, can I clear up something here? Reggie, I don't know how you get this this idea that I might look like the Duke of what? I don't even watch the program. But I saw last week you put the picture up, and Vibes is the splitting image of the Duke.
Oh, don't boost him up like that. Jesus.
Look, there you go.
Oh my God.
Well, brother from another mother.
Reggie, put some respect on my name, bro.
Anyway, back to what we're supposed to be doing here.
Where was we? Now, Jerry. So after the radio, so during the radio station, you was homing your skills. You was playing the sound. When did choice come into that equation? Was you still playing the sound, or was you still playing the sound? Was you still on community radio?
No, yes, I was, and I'll tell you exactly. I was with. Sorry. Somebody said something.
You was on Supreme, wasn't you?
This was after. I think this was after choice. Do you know I had to write a list. WBLS obviously with Brian, but after Brian, I think I went with Zach.
LWR.
LWR, yeah.
But I think there was a transition between LWR, and I can't remember for the life of me the name of the station he named it to, and I don't know if Goody remembers this. Goody from Special Touch remembers this. But we used to DJ from his place in Hackney, and it came from there.
What, his yard? His yard in Hackney. The Notorious Shootings place.
It came from there. So big hi to Goody. But yeah, so and that's where it started for me. But back then I was living in South. I moved from Ladbroke Grove to South London. And I had a flat there, and I drove from Streatham to Hackney every Sunday morning because my show was from 6 o'clock in the morning. I think it was 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, and it was. I'm not a morning person. I'm up like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. But to drive down there to realize that either Goody's sleeping, he can't open the door, or he's not there, or the radio's off. So I had to drive all the way back. But those are the things I remember from there. But I used to call myself Just Jerry then. I didn't obviously call my name Jerry Bascombe then, but so it was called Just Jerry.
So how did you? Yeah. So how did choice come about though? Right.
So this is how choice came about. I think it was DJ Lane, because we were friends back then. DJ Lane called me and said, Jerry, there's going to be a new black-owned legal radio station. That was it. I just knew I wanted to get on there. So I don't know if she remembers, but she invited me round to do a demo. Hi to Sherry Ann Dixon. Yeah, she invited me to do a demo. I didn't know what a demo was. Basically, a demo is just you put together a 2, 3, 4 minute clip of me announcing and back announcing a track. She opened the mic. She said, right, go for it. Start recording a demo. Silly me, I didn't know what to do or say. I said, big up to Darkman, big up to Aaron, big up to. I just didn't know. And then she went like this. I remember her going like this. No, you've got to have some blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it developed. We managed to finish it. I handed it into, I think you had to, back then, Choice was doing their auditions or whatever you want to call it at WNK, which was a radio station who also got their license in North London.
Yeah.
But it was a part-time, they were between Greek radio, that's right, Greek radio and WNK. Handed my demo in, and lo and behold, I got whittled down to the last, I don't know, 24 people or something like that. If you knew how over the moon I was. But in order to get on there, we had to go up to WNK in a legal surrounding, a studio surroundings, where you've got a studio and then you've got a glass and then you've got another studio behind that.
Mm.
I was in radio heaven. And because of that, I was like this. And part of the sort of the criteria, you had to do a live 5 minutes of live radio. So I scripted everything because they actually said, I think they actually said you had to back announce the track, go into weather, go into traffic and travel, blah, blah, blah. So I scripted everything and remembered everything. Got there, shaking them up in my boots. I remember seeing, I think it was Terry Peters and Jiggs. I think Jiggs was there as well.
Earlier.
A number of different other presenters was there. And they, last minute, they turned around, you got in the studio and they said, right, we're changing up things. We want you to read from this script. And when you said, right, so that was Luther Vandross, Never Too Much. Coming up next is the news, traffic and travel. But remember, I already programmed this in my brain. So now I had to read out what they had. But when you said, right, so that was Luther Vandross, Never Too Much, then you had to point and say, coming up next is news and traffic and travel. And then point. Did I point? Coming up next is news and travel. And that was it.
Yeah, you're supposed to point to give the
fumbled.
producer.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
Thank
I
you.
fumbled.
So was that all your radio training? You didn't have no radio training before?
We had kind of a brief thing, but mind you, I didn't get on. On Choice straight away. I received a letter 2 weeks later saying thank you, but no thanks. Gutted, totally gutted. But when Choice FM launched, I actually went down to the radio station in Brixton, and congratulations to Choice FM for the recent blue plaque that they recently put up on the building. So I've lost my train of thought now.
So you didn't get on Choice. So you went.
Right, I didn't get on Choice. So on the launch day, that's right. So on the launch day, I went down there just for the moral support. But an ex-girlfriend of mine was a receptionist. Well, that was it.
Networking, eh?
Doors was open. The doors was open, and I thought, right. So I started to go down there every single day, sitting downstairs in the reception. So in order to get to the studio, you had to go upstairs.
Yeah, Trinity Gardens.
That's right, Trinity Gardens in Brixton. Sitting down in the reception, talking to, I don't want to probably call her name. She'd probably be embarrassed. Watching, do you know what it was like watching Jiggs go upstairs? Terry Peters, George Kay, Merrick Crawford, Kirk Anthony, legends going upstairs to do a program. And I'm sitting down there and I'm thinking, how? Then Patrick Berry was walking past, but he noticed me every day.
And he
was Patrick. Sorry, yeah, that's right. Let me explain. Patrick Berry was the CEO and one of the managing director for Choice FM.
One of the founders. Yeah.
He noticed me every single day sitting there in that reception. But one day he said to me, what are you doing here? Why don't you just go? Go away. Just go.
Right. What?
Do you know what
He ran
that
you?
felt like?
Like that was
He
a Jamaican
ran-
running. That was a Jamaican running. Like,
Seriously.
yeah.
Seriously. He said, go. Just go away. We don't want you to come back here again. I had to walk out that door embarrassed. One of the most embarrassing times of my life. I don't know if he's going to remember this, but check this out. So the following week, he asked the young lady at the reception, how is Jerry? And she got upset. She turned around and she said, how dare you ask about him when you ran him from this building? Do you know what he said to her? Tell him to come and see me. He said, come and see me. This was like, I don't know, 4 weeks into Choice, 5 weeks into Choice FM, once they launched. And she called me up. She said, guess what? Patrick said to come and see you. Come and see him. Come and see him. I went there, suited and booted, shirt, tie, thinking it's a proper interview.
Mm-hmm.
So I went upstairs, and that was the first time I ever went upstairs to Choice FM's building, to his office, the managing director, Patrick Berry's office. And he said, sit down. I sat down. I can't remember if he apologized, but he said, listen, because back then, Choice FM didn't have DJs throughout the night. It was called the Night Music Marathon.
Yeah.
So it's back-to-back music. He said, listen, we haven't got any slots available, but you can compile the music for the Night Music Marathon. So I compiled rare grooves, slow jams, jazz, and everybody started loving it. And basically, before I go any further, that shows to anybody who's looking at this,
Don't give up.
never give up.
Don't give up.
Never give up. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
never give up. If you believe in it, just stay there. Stay
Yeah,
there.
I'll keep sending my demos into radio too. Then.
Yeah. Good luck. And yeah, so I started off doing the Night Music Marathon, and then what happened? I was doing it alongside Mystery, because Mystery was doing it as well.
Mystery was on time, was he? Are you sure he didn't get there for 6 o'clock?
We had Mystery's jingles in there. No, not really. But it was myself, Mystery, and I think it was a guy called Nigel B. Not Nigel B from Special Touch. It was another Nigel B.
I know Nudge. Yeah.
So in the end, they said, right, all three of you do a demo, and we'll get I think we'll get the listeners to vote or something. I can't remember. But I honestly can't remember. But I did it, Mystery, Nigel, and I got picked. And that was it. One of the memorable things is I remember walking in one of the studios. I think Jigs was in there. I didn't really know Jigs before Choice. And we were talking about music, and I remember he held up H down, knocking the boots. And funny enough, I had my records to come on to record the music after him. And I came in, I said, no, Jodeci, this is the album, mate, Jodeci. And I remember it vividly.
Nigel
That was the album at the time, Jodeci, Forever My Lady.
Forever My Lady, 1991.
That's right, that album.
So
What was the year?
1991?
Right, okay. So I think I started in 1990. I can't remember. But yeah, so, and then it progressed from there, from the Night Music Marathon, and then there was I can't remember his name, but he left, and he was doing Friday nights. I think it was Mark Sebastian, or something, or he went to breakfast. So they never had anybody for Friday nights. So I did Friday nights, and then I was on after Kirk Anthony, God rest his soul, when Kirk Anthony used to do Quiet Storm on a Sunday.
So how was you received by the DJs though? Because we would all love it to be flowers, but there's a lot of male testosterone going on at that time. Was everybody happy to see you, or was it a bit of snobbery, or how?
Well,
you don't have to say name. You don't have to say DJ.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody. just like any other workplace, you know, you might have one or two who you don't quite gel with. And I'm a person that I gel with everybody. Honestly, I do. And but it's kind of heart-wrenching when you don't gel with everybody. I kind of take it personally, and that's the sort of person that I am.
Yeah, but you can't be friends with everybody.
I know that. But you know, deep down. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so that started a love affair with Choice. For how long was you on Choice altogether?
I was on Choice for about 14 years.
Wow.
From 96.9 to 107. Can't remember the 101. What was it?
107.1.
107.1 for North London, and 96.9 was predominantly for South London.
Yeah.
Although you can hear it London wide.
The producers.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
The producers. Sorry to cut you again, but the producers have asked me to ask you this question. You see, I just slip it in there. The producers. So, where did the term Jerry Just come from? And which reggae DJ gave you that moniker? Because he's usually in here. He's usually in the chat room. He is, so.
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's what he meant.
That's what he meant.
Obviously, my surname is Bascombe, Jerry Bascombe, but he used to call me Jerry Just Come. So probably he didn't know it was just. He probably didn't know it was Bascombe. He probably just said Just Come. But I personally felt that he meant that Jerry's just come.
I said, like, just joined the station.
Who are you? You're just come.
And who was being that affectionate DJ at the time?
That was the infamous. Was it Manu supporter, isn't he?
Manu.
Daddy Ernie, mate. Daddy Ernie. I love you, Ernie.
If he's in there, I'm sure that he will pop on things and say what he and say.
So
what
this is Jerry.
But Jerry,
go on.
But Jerry, you had 14.
But the reason why he called me Just Come, I think, because he didn't. As I said, I never knew anybody when I first started. Jerry just reached. When I first started at Choice, I don't think I knew anybody, honestly. But they didn't know me and my history. Not that I'm anything, but I had a history of music. That's all I knew was music. The first, you know, I was listening to one of the podcasts you guys done, and Michael asked somebody what was the first record they bought. Could I remember? No, I bought tens of thousands of records, but for some reason, I don't know, but is it the beginning and the end? Was it who sung Funky Nassau? Oh, the beginning and the end.
Was Funky Nassau.
Nassau's got funky.
Yeah. Oh God, it's got.
And I bought it on a 7-inch.
Either or either.
Is it us on the drums?
No. It was. I think it was the beginning and the end, or something like that.
I remember.
At the chat room.
Funky Nassau. Nassau's got funky.
Yeah, it's called.
Nassau's got soul.
Yeah, the beginning and the end. Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's that. So yeah, but that was on a 7-inch, and I remember buying that. So how much is that worth now, Mike?
Someone's going to discogs it in a minute.
Yeah, definitely.
But Jerry, even though you had the 14 years at Choice, which was, you know, I'm sure you had
great
many
time.
Highlights that you could talk
the
about.
amount of artists I've interviewed, so many artists I've interviewed.
I remember though. I do remember when it came to an end, and because at that time I think I'd started playing for you.
Beginning of the end, yeah, Funky Nassau.
I think I started playing for you at Earl's Wine Bar back in the day.
Wow.
So that's how I became to know you. That was middle 80s, wasn't it?
With all due respect, yeah. Do you know it was?
I mean 90s.
No, 90s.
Sorry, it's middle 90s. Sorry,
mid-90s.
Yeah.
I think that was probably my first event. I think was Earl's Wine Bar in the city of London on a Friday night. It used to be called Uptown.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because obviously where it was located in Uptown. Right. But with all due respect, Ray, I don't remember booking you. Honestly, don't.
No, but let me explain. Because there were two promoters on the night.
That's right. It was myself and Eugene Dehaney.
And Eugene
booked quite a few of the DJs.
Yeah.
But that session went on for I don't know how many years. It was unbelievable. We had queues outside the door. They couldn't get in, banging down the door. We packed out that place every last Friday of the month. And Ray says, Jerry, you know me. Yeah, you know me. Yeah, I saw that podcast. Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah. Anyway, you're saying about Els.
Yeah. So Earls. Earls Weinbach.
Yeah, well,
and but DJs I do remember was definitely Shoe Doctor and Vibes Man. Basic Instincts.
Yeah,
they were my number ones DJs.
Your go-to
Definitely.
DJs.
Shoe Doctor and Vibes Man.
Not
Vibes Man.
Anyway,
Boogie. Was it Boogie? Yes, Boogie.
Yeah, Boogie.
Boogie, and then Vibes Man afterwards. But Boogie, Shoe Doctor, Vibes Man, they were my DJs. And then obviously you had what's his name from?
I'm sure Frankie Beverly was down there. I'm sure he was down there.
Frankie was down there. I'm trying to remember who he checked, because Frankie's a fantastic mic man. So many mic men, but Frankie's definitely one of them. But Kirby Nelson,
yes,
Kirby and Ronnie. But I can't remember the name of their sound. For the life of me, I can't remember
it. Someone will put it in the chat room.
Yeah, so Kirby and Ronnie.
Goodfellas.
Those are
Goodfellas?
No. Goodfellas was I think it was Rudy Ranks. And
Martin Winter has put in good, but Shoe Doctor
was
has
it Goodfellas?
He has put in Goodfellas, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Active Force.
That's right. That's right.
That's
Active
Kirby.
Force.
Right. So even though we digressed into Earls Weinbach, which we would have talked about anyway, I saw the end of when you came to the end of Choice, and I remember how you were handling it at the time and how disappointed that you were leaving Choice at the time. But you turned that leaving Choice into an opportunity, because you then planned your next way forward for Jerry Bascombe, and that was at the time something that was absolutely, for our community, it was something that was unique. It was fresh, and that was your website, because you then launched need a place to go.co.uk.
Yeah. Need a place to go. Yes, Choice FM. I could see Choice FM was coming to an end. I envisaged how, because Capital Radio bought, or there was rumors of Capital Radio buying Choice FM, and I, for some reason, I had it in my waters that I wasn't going to be there long, and this was 2004, but one of the reasons why I did start up Need a Place to Go was because of Mystery. Actually, Mystery, I think back then, proper innovator, definitely one of a fantastic DJ, whatever, pioneer. And I remember it was outside a bar or club called Night Moves, and I remember 2004, March 2004, I did a birthday party at Illusions in Streatham.
Okay.
And I'm sure you guys remember Illusions in Streatham. Right, 2004. And I saw Mystery outside Night Moves, and I said, because Mystery was the DJ, was going to be DJing on the night. And he was the only one with a website, really. And I remember giving him a flyer, the flyer, Jerry Bascombe's birthday party, and his name was on there. I said to him, please put this on the website for me, please. And he said, yeah, no problem, £50. I said, what? 50 quid? So he said, yeah, well, I've got to pay the webmaster to put it up. So I gave him £50 to put the flyer up on his website. And then he turned around and said, as soon as I gave him 50 quid, he turned around and said, a week.
That's Mystery for you.
If you saw how quick I grabbed that £50 note, I told him,
and went and made your own one. And then went and made your own one, yes?
My birthday, 2004, it was sold out at Illusions. Apparently, it was the most ever at Illusions. Ray was on that bill, I think, as well.
Yeah, so was. Yeah.
Is that the first time you booked him, yeah?
No. Way back then, way before, mid-90s. And it was sold out. And I took that money and invested. I went to a friend of mine called Basim Memon. Lovely guy. He used to do flyers for me years before 2004. And I went up to him and I threw £2,000 on his table. He used to have an office in, I think it was the West End. Threw 2,000. I said, Basim, I want a website. And he says, well, what's the name? I said, I don't know, but I just need somewhere for people to go. So we need a place to go. And that was it. Just came out with the name, need a place to go.
Wow.
Yeah. And he created that logo, which is still there, which kind of meant on the button.
Mm-hmm.
So need a place to go is on the button. And it was 2004. And why I set that up is because I was upset with Mystery. I love him dearly. He always did love Mystery. I hope he doesn't have a go at me. But
that
yeah,
started, but that for you started a journey of being events, and I don't care what anybody says, but you reached that #1 spot in terms of events holder and doing your stuff consistently. It's not just putting on one event; it's putting on events over a long period of time and entertaining people so they come back time and time again. You did the hotel on New Year's Eve, which you've consistently done. I don't know for how many years, but that seems like it's been going forever. You had other nights that you did throughout the year as well. You had the Black Club, you had Iron Bar. How much other places did you have? How much other clubs did you have, Jerry?
Listen. Yesterday, I had to think of all the bars and clubs I've promoted at, not DJ'd. Surpasses that how many times I've DJ'd at different clubs. I had to write a list down.
Just give us the rough number because we got time. We're running short on time.
All the Novus Leisure events. Sorry, venues. That was in the City of London. From Abbey, Agenda was my first one. Amber, Ashton Town, Bel Air, Cape, Caravaggio, Club Quarters, Hotel. So many. Iron Bar, Reva Bar, Revolution, Royal Lounge, Subterranea.
So which one was your favourite? Which one was your favourite club?
My favourite club was Amber.
Oh yeah.
Because Amber had a disco dance floor.
Yes.
And everybody loved that disco dance floor. And in that room, we had four rooms of music.
Yeah. And even Reggie got
sold out. Yeah, that's right. So, going back to Agenda, I
used to mash up that dance.
I remember going to Agenda, and I went and I did a birthday party there. The event I did there, I took Martin Gale, BCP, Martin.
Oh yeah, because apparently he had a lot to do with you reaching the #1 space. Can you clarify that or not, please?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. No, I took Martin because I don't know if you remember, but Agenda was huge and it had a back room. So Martin came along before I did the event, and I said to him, Martin, I'm going to be using this venue. He looked at me and says, Jerry, this venue is too big. Sold out way in advance. I give God thanks. Seriously, divine intervention. I must say this, divine intervention. I can't leave out God, Jesus Christ. I pray before all my events. I put him first. And without him, I couldn't have done all this. I'm not going to take no glory. Without him, I've got to big him up.
Andy Franklin says you're a master promoter with class. And there's something about your events that is different from other promoters. You have some very high standards. Like, what made you say you don't want to do it that way? You want to do it this way, the classy way.
Do you know what? I don't even know if it's classy. I think as soon as I walk into the venue, I know exactly how I want it. It's because I kind of think like the customer. Mm-hmm. I walk into a venue, and one thing I try to do is pick venues where you don't have to flower it up. You don't have to put drapes up and linen and make it pretty. I always go for the high-end venue. I say high-end. really nice venues, restaurants, whatever, you know.
Yeah, but Jerry, there's one thing that's consistent at your venues, and there's one thing that I noticed, especially when you have to provide it, and that's security. You have a love affair with a certain security firm that you use quite often, and we've got a video message from the head honcho of that firm. So we're gonna bring it.
Woo! Good evening, Mr. Bascombe, and all those that set the trend. Sorry I couldn't be with you today. As you can see, I'm still working from home. I was asked to say a few words about Jerry Bascombe and my experiences with him providing security over the last 25 plus years. And the first thing that came to mind was the term from a Ron Seal advert, where it says, it does exactly what it says on the tin. And for me, that sums up Jerry Bascombe. He's a very much what you see is what you get type of guy. And his standard has been consistent over the years. He has a clientele that has always been a slight cut above the rest. No disrespect to the other promoters, by the way. But that quality that he attracted always made his events a pleasure to work at. And to be fair, I think it's also added to the profile of my own security business, being seen consistently at his events. I mean, I feel long before he had need a place to go, Jerry supplied us with a need of a place to go. People looked forward to those promotions. And to be fair, I think there were always cushy nights. You know, I enjoyed my time working for his promotions. And I hope to continue enjoying my time working for his promotions in these twilight years of mine. So what can I really say about Jerry Bascombe? Pardon? I'm not saying that about Jerry. Oh! Sorry. My wife called out short and sweet. I thought she was referring to Jerry, but I think she meant to keep this short. So what can I really say about Jerry? Shakespeare said it, I think, best in his play Julius Caesar, when he said, there's a tide in the affairs of man that when taken up the flood, he's on fortune. I think Jerry has recognized that high tide and he's riding it very well, and long may he continue.
Yay!
Can I tell you something? Two things I want to say about Gary there. One, I don't know how his hair is so black and his beard. You get me? I don't know how he does it. And two, we're actually having Gary on Set the Trend in a couple of weeks' time to tell his story. Him and Calvin are coming on, and there's a couple more of the fellas.
We call Gary the cleanup team.
Gary,
he comes in and if you've had any problems at a nightclub or anything, Gary, make sure you check D&G Security.
He used to run our Text Me when we used to do Text Me on a Sunday. He was the man with the rest of the guys. So
you're not getting in. If he doesn't want you in, you aren't getting in. You don't care how bad you think you are, you're not coming in.
And not even you. And if they've upset him, Jerry, not even you can get them in. He said, Jerry,
do you know how many times I've had an argument with Gary and jokingly come up in his face and said, "What we do? What?" He said, "Jerry, stop this messing about." I said, "Gary, please let him in." Nope, because he was banned from another gig that he was on the door for. You know.
But security run the doors though. Like, you run the tight ship though. Anyway, at your events.
Do you know what it is? I do. Sorry, Mike. Go on.
You know, early on in the show, we was talking about, in the beginning of the show, we mentioned that vinyl record sales are surging again. And I know you had mad passion for vinyl, but you lost your records, didn't you?
No. Well, you might as well call it that. I had tens of thousands of records, vinyls, CDs galore. And being at Choice FM for 14 years, you could imagine how many promotional material I've had, even from Reggie when he was doing promotions and still is. I had tens of thousands, and sometimes you get to a stage in life where you think, I need to change. Not so much change, I just need to know what's good for me. And I thought, my vinyls are just going to sit there and more or less rot. That's what I thought. So I decided to sell them. I put it up on Facebook. I got slated on Facebook. How dare you? Selling your vinyls. What's the matter with you? Got no respect, blah, blah, blah. Because everybody knew.
That's not what we do, man. That's not what we do.
I know. But do you know what? I actually thought I would miss it. But there's a stage in your life where you just move on to other things. And vinyls wasn't then. You know, I could have left it for the kids. But the kids might have used it as frisbees. We don't know. You know, so I thought but a guy who bought it, he lives, or I don't know if he still does, he lives in Abu Dhabi. And he got somebody to come round my house and packed it all. I've still got pictures of all the vinyls in the boxes. And these guys came with a big old truck lifting all the vinyls and CDs out. And it went to Abu Dhabi. So that's where my vinyls are right now with some young man.
You found a good home.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, definitely. And he even sent a message to see if I had any more. I should have gave him your number, Mike. Yeah, it's 20%, mate. But yeah, so
Mr. Bascombe,
yes,
we're getting so much comments about how well you look in the chat room. It seemed like you took on another vocation in lockdown, where we saw all these model pictures come out.
Yeah.
Tell us.
GQ style.
Yeah. How did these come about?
do you know, it wasn't even intended to. A friend of mine, I'm going to be honest. A friend of mine had bought a camera and he wanted to take pictures. And I just said, right, I'll do it. Bought some clothes. We went out on different locations and just took pictures and I just posted them. But I'll be honest, I didn't expect the comments. Oops. I don't know if you can see me, but I didn't expect the comments to come out as it did. And I thought, right, okay, I'm going to post another one. And I thank everybody who commented on those pictures. But if you notice, with all those pictures, it might seem vain, but there was always... Sorry, let me just do something unprofessional here. Let me just put this in there. Oops, sorry.
Is that you getting one of your slaves to... is that you getting one of the slaves there to...
No. I was just putting on a light. But if you notice, with all those, there's a positive message. On Facebook, Instagram, there's a positive message with each picture. Why? Because one thing that baffles me is when people use Facebook and Instagram to run somebody else down, to send negative messages. I'm all about positivity. I can't be around those people. I love fun. I love jokes. Me personally, I use that platform to uplift. As we said earlier on.
That's a classy one right there, isn't it? That one's very classy.
As we said earlier on, we don't know. Jeez, God, there.
Listen, man, you need to send those into Saga Holidays, man. You'll be big.
We have to remember people you've just mentioned, people who's diving in the Thames, committing suicide. A good friend of mine, Lawrence. I've had a couple of other people who's committed suicide. We don't know what's in their head. Yeah. Don't add to it. Don't.
You know, it's funny you say that. A very good friend of mine, he always says exactly the same thing, and he pulls me up when I'm being negative about things. Obviously, it's been a tough year for all of us, especially in the music industry, and that's exactly what he says to me as well. So I totally agree with you, and it's definitely something I need to look more at doing on my social media as well.
And especially in this current climate, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. We don't. That's why I give thanks every day, because I could be in a different situation.
Yeah.
Jerry,
I just don't know.
And one of those situations that you could get into, and I'm not trying to trivialize the point you just made, because I think that point is bang on, and it's something that I look to do as well as often as I can.
Yes, Denise.
No, but I don't know how to put this.
Easy. Probably don't say it then.
No. I'm going to say it. I'm definitely going to say it.
Get on with it then.
Thanks, Reg. But I got to put it away.
Boardroom on Monday morning, mate. Yeah. Anyway.
Underwear, underpants. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that you put on your social media that they're going to ask you about your underpants. So I don't think you thought we would do, but we're going to. So there's a rumor. So I think you said to the guys in the green room that you don't wear any when you're out. Is that you go commando? You actually go commando, Jerry. Is this the truth of the matter?
I jokingly said, I wonder if they're going to ask me what color underwear I wear at my events. And then I had a few people come back to me and says, but I thought you go commando at your events. But no, do you know I always look for the Calvin Kleins. A pair of white Calvin Kleins I always try to wear.
So are you
Look,
saying?
I'll show you. They were like diapers.
So are you categorically saying that you never go commando? Is that what you're saying? Just for the ladies? I'm just asking the question on behalf of the ladies out there.
I'll
Maybe
leave
some
that
men
for
too, because by them pictures, I think you've got a male fan club that might be growing as well.
You didn't say that. Oh my
god! And Ray's asking for a friend. Yeah, then I'm going to leave that down to the imagination of those who.
Hey, copped out. You see, that's the first cop out for the night.
Here, look. This is why it's very rare you ever see me dancing with a young lady at my events. Very, very rare. Mm-hmm. Maybe because I am commando. No, not really. But it's very rare I ever dance at my events. You know, and going back to what Gary said, it's like, because most of my events, or the big events, is dinner and dance. So dinner at the beginning, before anybody even lifts a fork to eat, I'm on that mic saying grace. I have to say grace. I just can't. I just can't say. I can't start my event without saying grace, and everybody respects that. You know, some people clap afterwards, but it's not a recognition that I'm after. I'm just saying, giving thanks, and all those who are on their way to the event, you know, take care of them. All those leaving the event, take care.
You've been in Grenada since the start of the pandemic, more or less. You hot-footed it home, and you made the majority of us so jealous anyway, because, you know, if you wanted to enjoy the pandemic, there's no better place than an island like Grenada to do that. You've had a lot of thinking time, a lot of modeling time. What is next for Jerry Bascombe, needaplacetogo.co.uk, your events when you come out of it? Because you couldn't have been sitting down and not planning, because I know you too well for that, Jerry. So is there anything that you'd like to tell us, give us an exclusive about what is the next steps for your enterprise?
Everything's messed up. I don't care what anybody says. This is my analogy. Things are messed up. March 2020, that was my last event, was on the 14th of March. In fact, I was probably one of a handful of event organizers who had their event on that day, because I remember the following week was Mother's Day weekend. So every promoter and their dog was aiming for the following weekend, which was probably the 22nd or something like that, or 21st. of March 2013. Sorry, 2020, March to 2020. I envisaged that. To be honest, I actually thought that this whole thing, saga, was going to last only for about 3 months. I thought I would be coming back. You know, I didn't realize it was going to last this long. But after about 6 months, and you saw the unfolding of various things, good or bad.
Tragedy, yeah.
There's no way, and I'm going to be honest, I can't plan. I can't plan, and I respect all those promoters who are doing their thing right now. I just can't plan. I've got to wait. And for me, that's the most strategic thing for me to do, is wait. My thinking is, Jerry, wait. Wait to see what happens. I'd love to come back and do an event for New Year's Eve. I can't even plan that. Christmas events. I just can't.
We're supposed to be going abroad as well. And,
yes, exactly. Sri Lanka. I had 150, 160 people coming with me to Sri Lanka 2 years in a row, which has been cancelled. Now I'm about to postpone it to 2022. God willing, God spare our lives. Anything can happen tomorrow, and that's why.
I don't see Reggie asking to get on them overseas trips, and that's because Reggie is on them overseas trips.
He's always Reggie for me. I always book Reggie for the overseas. He's too likable. He's likable. I shouldn't even big him up that much anyway. But yeah, so he's likable. He helps out. Listen, I've bought you, Ray, a couple of times, I think, to Grenada.
Yeah, definitely.
I've bought Reggie everywhere. Dubai, a few times. Cuba, all sorts of places, and that's why he's been in there, because he just helps. Eh?
We just have a laugh, and as Ray says, I work for free.
I don't.
Bed and breakfast.
No, I don't. I don't say it. EastEnder says that.
One of you says that.
I just wow.
Yeah.
No,
Reggie,
if I'll be honest,
Reggie.
I'll say one thing. I'll say about Jerry. Jerry is very, very, very straight cut. I've never ever done something for Jerry where I've walked away with no money, even if it's like 100 quid or whatever. I've never ever walked away from something without Jerry saying,
"I can't do it."
Even when I say no, Jerry, it's all right. It's fine. It's fine. I can argue till the cows come home, and then I'll get a ping from my bank. Jerry Bascombe sent you, whatever. So, you know,
always. Even if I don't get to pay you on the night, even if I don't get to pay a DJ on the night, Monday morning, Tuesday, whatever.
The boss. I mean, I weren't going to ask Jerry or Reggie about that, because Jerry does definitely pay. What I was going to ask you, Reggie, if there's one thing about Jerry apart from the fact he pays on time, and that he's been over the years, what is one of the qualities that you really admire in him? Reggie,
he doesn't want to answer that.
Sorry. What's the qualities?
Yeah, give me one of his qualities.
There ain't none.
No. I definitely have to say Jerry's very professional. Jerry thinks about his customers first. I've been there firsthand where Jerry has literally been like, right, we got to do this. What about this? What about this person? What about each individual person, especially when being on trips or in gigs? He will always want to make sure that people are having a great time. Even me, you know, when I'm DJing now and again, and I get the opportunity to play in events, Jerry will always be very particular about making sure that people are enjoying the music, enjoying the dances. He's not really one of these people that, you know, wants to hear the you know, crazy stories and politics and all that type of stuff. He just wants people to come to a gig and enjoy themselves, and that's a great quality I think Jerry's got. Very organized man, very organized. And another thing, Jerry is a great communicator. If you've ever been part of any of Jerry's events, you know that he's a great communicator. Whether it's good news or bad news, Jerry will always make sure that you're updated. So, you know, that's one thing I've taken away from Jerry, which is to be able to communicate with people a lot. So, you know,
can I just say something? What you kind of reminded me of? Customers. not all customers. Let's go to a promoter's event without low expectations. This is what I've encountered throughout my years. You'll have somebody who walk in and just go like this. Oh, look, bit of dirt, or not a bit of dirt, but something isn't right for them. They'll trash you. Let me give you an example. Myself, Eddie, Nesta, and Paul Francis did an event at the place called the Oasis Banqueting Suite. We booked you again there, Ray, in East London, Barking. A woman walks in. Sorry, it was cold that night, freezing that night. Her and her friend were outside, but she came early, 20 minutes, half an hour before the doors even meant to be open. And Gary was one of the security on that night. I said, Gary, let them in, because I couldn't stand to see her outside with a coat on. So Gary said, no, the door's closed. I said, no, let them in. So he let them in. I walked her to one of the rooms, which didn't have all the setup, because we had about 600 people for dinner alone. It was contained into one room, but I brought her into one of the second room. So there was nothing set up. It was just ready for DJs. She walks in, sat down and go, typical. You lot ain't even ready. You ain't even set up the tables for the dinner. Do you know how that feels? You weren't even meant to be in there. You could have still been outside. I don't really want to sound passionate about it, but what I am passionate about is don't go into an event with low expectations. Go in there to enjoy whatever the promoter has put on, the event organizer put on. We can't get it right all the time. I thank God that it's not often. Well, I don't personally get it wrong. I can bring people to the table, I organize everything, but sometimes it's the venue, the food, whatever the case may be. So it's beyond my control, but I have to take the brunt because I am the middleman. I am the organizer. But I can't be in the kitchen at the same time with the cooks, and I can't be on the door. I can't be DJing all 4 rooms. Just go easy on them. Go easy on the promoter.
I think that is a poignant point. I think sometimes we are our own worst enemies in that we really look at our own people and hold them to a higher standard than we would our so-called white counterparts in other arenas. Yeah. I don't even want to say it's a black-white thing, but it's only because of the circles that I'm in. So it probably happens in the white arena. Yeah, it does. But, Asians,
I know what you mean.
Asian people, like But what I'm saying is that we just need to give promoters a chance. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
Give them a chance to get it right.
And just the same way, new promoters don't go in there thinking you're going to make a bag of wonga on your first event, because it's not. I've lost money. But I still, one of the slogan that I saw was, every setback or most setbacks is a setup. Setup. I've used all my setbacks, every single one of them, whether it's whatever, and I use it to step up.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to join London Soul Radio, and have been on there for such a long time, and not resisted the charms of various other radio stations.
Big hi to all my DJs.
We have to talk about my contract though.
Yeah, all the DJs on the Soul of London Radio, love you like cooked food. I know I'm always having a go.
I want to kind of congratulate you on that, because it's not I know you say DJs, but you got presenters on there. All your presenters on there, they present in a very high standard, and that's what I said earlier on about your class, and you always want the best, and I'm happy that you haven't got any of the DJs that are DJs. You've got presenters on there, and that's what makes your station sound nice and fresh.
And this is why I have to. Well, I apologize to most of the presenters when I keep having a go, or phoning them up, or texting them after. Texting them after their show, and I keep saying, "Why did you say that? Say it this way. Your mic's too low." Whatever. I'm a stickler for presentation. And it's no disrespect to DJs or how you chat on the mic. It's not a problem. But if it doesn't fit within what I'm trying to, achieve, a brand. And somebody else said the same thing. A brand. Just try and get a brand. Peter Platinum Phillips, he's one who always says, Jerry, you've got a brand. And I never thought about that. Even Chris Sweeney said the same thing. You've got a brand.
I remember a story you told me once when I think I went a bit overboard on the microphone and said something bad, and I didn't think it was anything too bad. But I remember you saying somebody at Choice said to you once, one of the owners said, when you open that microphone, you're not just representing yourself, but you're representing the whole entire station.
Right. So I was going to say that now in Grenada, because everybody's English, we can't. I get a lot of feedback from listeners here in Grenada that you were on the radio yesterday, weren't you, Jerry? I said no. And this is why I say to the DJs, watch what you say. Think about it, because some people think it's me on there. And that's why, going back to what Reggie said, you're not representing yourself, you're representing me. And you're somebody at Choice FM, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Patrick Berry or Neil, not Neil. It was not Neil Kinnock. It was Vince Herbert, I think program director or something like that. He said, once you, as going back to Reggie says, once you put that fader up to speak, you're automatically a guest in that person's abode, at work, and in their car. They've invited you into their parameters, so you're a guest. So act like a guest. You know what I mean? And that's how I always look at it.
I can definitely say that you've had words with DJs while they've been playing to make sure that their vernacular is on point and they're not talking in too much slang, you know what I mean? And people can understand them and they present it properly, you know what I mean? So I know that you're really diligent on that side of things. Before I got to ask you one quick question before you go, Jerry, because we have DCR waiting in the background and she's been waiting a long time.
Oh, I love you, Dawn, DCR.
Yeah, and we really want to give her her time. Cliff Richard.
Well, depends
Sir Cliff Richard.
Sir Cliff Richard.
I apologize. Sir Cliff Richard. Tell us a bit about that quickly.
I was on Choice FM. I was filling in for Jenny Francis, lovely woman. Hi, Jenny. I had to fill in for the whole week, and I got a record, a vinyl. It was a white label. I can't remember what, probably, or something. I can't remember. It came into my box. I put it on, and I thought, "Oh, this sounds quite good." I think I played this. This was from Monday. I played it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the buzz of this record. There you go. Can't keep this feeling. This buzz of this record. I got so much text messages saying, "Jerry, who's it by?" But in fact, you did. I don't think you actually had the Stepchild mix on there. I think it was just.
No, it was just titled "The Dark Knight."
That's right. That's right. That's right. So nobody knew who it was from, who it was. I thought it was American. So I covered Jenny Francis from Monday to Thursday. And then I think it was the Thursday I got a call and said I said on the radio, tomorrow I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. I need to find out who this song was from or by. Lo and behold, I got a call. I can't remember who told me, but somebody said it was Cliff Richard. So I said, Cliff Richard? No way. I managed to get hold of his manager at the time, which was Clive Black. Clive Black, right? Clive Black was managing him. And then we set up the interview for Thursday night, around about 10 o'clock in the evening. So I played the song. I said, we've been playing this all week. Now I'm going to interview the singer. So everybody's like this. What? Who's this? Can you please say who you are? Hi, Jerry. I'm Sir Cliff Richard. And that was it. I had goose pimples. Because I knew it was him. And then it just hit all the newspapers. It was on BBC. ITV. It was all in, I don't know if it was in the Evening Standard. All Cliff Richard defies or fools DJs, and it had my name on there, Jerry Bascombe, on the newspapers and BBC.
Can I tell you a little story about that? I knew about it from the beginning because we actually put it together. And that time I was working at Hard Zone, and it was me and Merrick Crawford and a few others that concocted the whole campaign to get it out there. Because at the time, Cliff Richard was a bit concerned that a lot of his music wasn't played on radio. So we decided we were going to put together a white label, not tell anybody who it is, and see if people would play the record, and they did. And it was a good time.
Going back to Clive Black.
One second, Jerry.
Hold on, Jerry. I think your mic's...
Your mic's a little bit distorted. I'm not sure what's happened.
Oh, can you hear me now? Is that better?
No, there's something not right there.
No, tweak a cable or something.
I tell you, I tell you what we will do. Let's. Yeah, so I just had to mute him. Let me just. I just muted him. So let's see if he sounds better now. Jerry.
Hi, can you hear me?
That's still. I tell you what we're gonna do. We want you to come back and say bye. Fix up your mic, and let's get DCR on, and then we'll get you back in to say bye.
She's gonna.
And that was just getting very interesting there, because I wanted to hear just the end piece about Richard. And I'm sure that our engineer should be doing some work. Anyway, so let's put let's put Jerry into the back room for the minute, and let's have DCR out on front, please, producers, if you can do that. Just make sure that Jerry can just
Sorry
check.
to keep you waiting for so long, Miss DCR.
That's all right, man. That's okay. I was getting engrossed into that interview anyways.
Hi, DC. How are you? How are you doing?
Again?
How are you doing?
Not too bad. A bit, Reggie knows the hay fever's trying to kind of take my life a little bit, man. So been dosing up on the honey and, just trying to power through. But I'm all good.
The last time that I met you, we was on a boat together sailing around the Caribbean in December 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
And you were so looking forward. Big up Studio One and the guys for that trip. And you were so looking forward to 2020. Then the pandemic hit. What have you been doing in the year and change that this has been going on?
What a year, first of all. So I've had lots of kind of ups and downs, I guess just like everyone else. So within that year, I've been locked in my room, writing. And, just writing a lot of songs, finding a lot of beats, soul searching, it's just, as we know, it's just a weird time. So I just had to try and put my focus really into the writing and into my music, because it was difficult because I couldn't go to the studio. So just recording a lot of things, basically roughs and demos on my phone, but just making sure I write and get things down so that when everything does open back up and did open back up, I can go to the studio. So yeah, just a lot of writing and, trying to soul search really.
What kind of styles of writing are you doing? Is it fit for a genre of music? Is it all soul, R&B, or are you writing for different types of music?
So for right now, it's soul R&B. But again, the way that I work is if I hear a beat, whatever the beat is, then I just go with it. So I just need to feel the music and then I will write whatever. But my love is R&B, especially old school 90s R&B. But yeah, just going with the flow. So like I said, as long as I'm feeling that beat, I write whatever goes.
And who's your producers? Who are you working with at the moment?
So I'm not working with any producers at the moment. What I have been doing is buying beats online. When that COVID hit, I was just buying beats online. So there's a guy called Tony Sway online, and he produces a lot of beats that I love, the style in that he does. I love his work. So I've just been spending hours and hours daily online, finding beats, reaching out, buying them, and that's it.
Wow. And you've got a couple of tracks for us today, haven't you?
Yes. So obviously you guys know the Positive Vibes, and I'm working on my I have been working on my new EP, which is going to be out next month. And that's got 4 new tracks on there, along with Positive Vibes and Old School. So yeah, I've just been focused on that, and hopefully going back into the studio in the next couple of weeks to record some new tracks as well. So just keep putting out tracks.
Reggie?
Cool. So, Reggie,
Okay.
it's over to
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, please welcome to the Set the Trend live performance studio styling type thingy, a lady who I love so dearly. She is just amazing, and she's just great. And her name is DCR, and she's going to sing an exclusive track for you right now that you've never heard.
Yes. And the track that I'm going to sing, again, this is one that I wrote in lockdown, and this track is called Passing Me By. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Hold up. Bear with. It would be nice if it was hooked up. 1 second. Okay. Let's start that again, shall we? Lately, I see you walking down my street. Just maybe one day you will notice me.
I could be your one and only.
'Cause you don't even have to say, how are you, how is your day?
Just come my way.
A little simple smile will do. Baby boy, I'm into you. Just tell me what I gotta do. 'Cause baby,
you keep on passing by. You keep passing by.
Do you even know my name?
You keep on passing by. You keep on passing me by. You keep on passing by. You keep passing
And
by.
you don't even know my name.
You keep on passing by. You keep on passing me by.
Hopeless, 'cause that is how I feel around you.
Feel around you.
Speechless, I'm lost for words when I'm around you.
I could be your one and only.
I dream about you night and day. I dream about our wedding day.
Just come my way.
Make good loving all night long. Baby boy, if you were mine, just tell me what I gotta do. 'Cause baby,
you keep on passing by. You keep passing by.
You don't even know my name.
You keep on passing by. You keep on passing me by. You keep on passing by. You keep passing by.
And you don't even know my name.
You keep on passing by. You keep on passing me by.
Got me all up in my feelings.
Can't understand what I'm feeling. It's just the things that you do, boy. The way you walk and how you move, boy. Got me all up in my feelings. can't understand what I'm feeling. It's just the things that you do, boy. You got me feeling butterflies.
And you don't even know my name. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. Thank you.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Wow.
I've been
Thank
privileged
you,
to hear
thank you.
some of the EP, and I'll tell you what, if you're a big fan of that old 90s slow jam style, you are going to be in for a treat. She's got some amazing records on the way.
Those lyrics are right up my street, up in your feelings. What what was the background behind that song?
So when I heard the beat, I was just like, I don't know, something just came to me, because sometimes I get visions in my head. Sometimes when I hear a beat, then I see a whole video in my head. So I just saw myself walking down the street, this guy, I live in the neighborhood, I see him all the time, he sees me, but he never notices me, doesn't know my name, and that's what just came to me. So I just kept saying, you know, you keep passing me by, and then the rest just came. So yeah, that's how that came about.
Go, girl.
And when are you looking to put that track out? Is that one that you're holding back until everyone gets loose on June the 21st, or is...
No, so for this track, I would like to, you know, start getting this played around, this passing me by. Although it's on the EP will be out on June 23rd, but I'm going to be sending this one out to the DJs to try and get some good airplay, because, you know, I think it's a good track. I like the vibe, and, you know, we need some good vibes right now. So,
I haven't been given that, and I know Reggie's like your tastemaker, direct manager, so I don't know what he holds in the moment.
No. It's coming. Trust me, it's coming.
You might even get a dub plate.
There we have it. Even better. So
the next song you're gonna sing is Positive Vibes, I believe.
Yeah. Now
you're releasing that on a 7-inch vinyl. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's been released on a 7-inch vinyl. It's done pretty well, actually. So yeah, that's out now, but it's the orders are being sent out now as we speak. So yeah, I'm quite pleased about that.
Okay, and we can still purchase. It's still available for anybody who wants to buy it on vinyl.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Good. Reggie, take it away.
All right, next song. It was a huge hit for DCR. It was a breakout record. It was actually first played by Moi, I believe, in Jerry Bascombe's Dance of all places, if I remember rightly, at Bel Air House, and also on radio first by one of the guys from New Attraction. It's Positive Vibes, big massive hit. It was played all around Europe, and also added to playlists all around the UK. And here it is, Positive Vibes, which is what we need now.
Thank you. Your positive vibes turn me on. You're the only one. Makes me feel gentle and warm. You're no fly-by-night man, and I know that I can. Trusting you. Don't you know what we have is a special gift? All the men I've ever known have never possessed it. You're one in a few, special through and through, and you're mine. 'Cause baby, I will give you everything to have a man as strong as you beside me, baby. Oh, need to look no more. Found what I'm looking for. Giving
like
the way you do. From the bottom of my heart, I truly do love you. It's a love that's so rare, yours and mine to share for all time.
for all time.
'Cause baby, I will give you everything to have a man as strong as you beside me, baby. Oh, need to look no more.
No more.
Found what I'm looking for.
What I'm looking for.
Oh, oh, oh.
No more.
Found what I'm looking for.
What I'm looking for.
Oh, oh, I will give you all my love. I'll be yours forevermore to have and to hold. So, oh,
Let us celebrate. Please don't you hesitate. Let's show the world what real love is. What love is.
positive vibes going around, lifts you up off the ground. Let no one put us under what we found. 'Cause baby, I will give you everything to have a man as strong as you beside me, baby. Oh, need to look no more. Now what I'm looking for. Oh, oh, oh.
No more.
Found what I'm looking for.
What I'm looking for.
Oh, oh, oh.
No more.
Found what I'm looking for.
What I'm looking for.
Oh, oh, oh.
No more. What I'm looking for.
Oh, oh, oh.
No more. What I'm looking for. Let us celebrate. Please don't you hesitate. Let's show the world what real love is. What love is.
Positive vibes going around, lifts you up off the ground. Let no one put us under what we found. Positive vibes.
Hey.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you lot got loads of positive vibes.
Yeah,
That's a fantastic
100%.
single. I know it was.
Thank you.
It's kind of you look at that single, you hear that single. I mean, it's about what, a year and a half, if not longer
Yeah.
than that, isn't it?
Yeah,
2 years old?
2019, yeah.
2019.
Wow.
And funny enough, you know, I still have people asking me, inquiring about DCR after her performance at the Elegant Affair at the Royal Kensington Hotel. You know, so it's
Yeah.
great that you've got new music coming. It's fantastic single, and I'm happy that as a vinyl junkie, I'm happy that you've got it on a 7-inch too.
Yes, classic.
Well,
Thank
And that
you.
record wasn't it written with your other half? That record.
Yeah, he wrote that.
Positive.
He wrote that track. So he wrote that, and the thing is, it's an old song because he gave that track to me about 7-8 years ago, and we kind of just let it sit there and didn't really do anything with it. And then we was like, you know what? Let's take this to the studio and then let's bring this song to life. And yeah,
Big up
here it
Stephen,
is.
Man United supporter, but yeah. Anyway.
There we go. There's always something bad that comes of it, though, isn't there?
No, we got positive vibes.
We're playing them
these
tomorrow.
guys, thank you so much.
Anyway,
I've
supposed
been
to be
getting
spreading positive
text
vibes.
messages from. I've had about 6 text messages from DJs asking to send the EP.
and so they should. And so they should. So DCR, what is going on for you in the next coming months? June the 21st is the end of social distancing. What are you looking forward to in terms of maybe performing and also for your EP?
You know what? I'm just looking forward to going to the studio and just doing some new tracks. My love is within the studio. You know, some people's are writing songs and stuff like that. Mine is actually just to go into that studio booth and just make music come alive. So I'm just looking forward to the tracks that I've got sitting here that I've been writing in my room to just go studio and just record them. And, you know, and I'm looking forward to putting out my EP, seeing the response that it gets, you know. It's been a tough time working on that EP. During the time between January and now, my dad passed away during this COVID time.
Sorry to
so
hear that.
this EP is, thank you, this EP is dedicated to my dad, and he was my #1 fan and supporter. And, you know, I have to keep on going because he would have always wanted me to keep going. So this EP is dedicated to him. So it's very close to my heart. So, you know, I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it, you know.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah.
And how can people get hold of you on your social media handles if they want to do that?
So my socials, you can find me on Instagram. I'm at DCR_music. You can also find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube. Yeah. So once you find me on one, you can link up to all the others.
Okay. We would usually say goodbye, but don't go anywhere because we want you to stay right till the end of the show. Can we bring back on Jerry Bascombe as well?
Oh, cool. Thank you so much. Hey,
Hopefully,
Jerry.
is my mic okay?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's
your
fine.
mic sound
brilliant.
right.
Performance, Jerry.
DCR.
Yes, Jerry.
Do you know? I don't know. Do you know one of the events that I'd done? I did a trip to Dubai. I can't remember which year, but Dawn came along
Yeah.
with Steve. Funny enough, and I think that might have been the first time I ever met you. I think.
Yeah.
But this
it
was some years ago. I can't remember how long this was. And we've been
Yeah, it
friends
was- it
ever
was-
since. Fantastic.
while
Well
back,
done.
yeah.
Love it. And
Thank
you know,
you.
somebody
If it
was
wasn't
commenting
for
on,
Jerry,
on
I
your
wouldn't have
outfit, and I
met
think
these
your
guys.
outfit is great.
Oh, thank
Sorry,
you.
Reggie.
And if it wasn't for Jerry, I wouldn't have met you either.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
know. That's where I met you as well, Reggie.
Yeah.
What a great trip. That was a good trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah,
So Jerry, welcome back. After those little troubles, you're back in the building.
yes.
I think we were finishing off with Cliff Richard, so we was on the end of that.
Oh, Clive Black. Yeah, the management.
Yes.
Yeah, Clive Black was
So you
the
had
manager
him. So
at the time.
so you actually interviewed Sir Cliff
Cliff
Richard live.
Richard, yeah, he was on there for about 45 minutes. And I think I spoke to him a few years after, and he remembers, and he says, "Yes, Jerry, I remember." But anyway, but yeah, he was a fantastic guy, very accommodating. So going back to his management team, it was Clive Black. The reason why I mentioned Clive Black is because I know you guys. I think DJ Lane was on last week, and she said that I stepped into her office some years ago. I can't remember, and I said, "Meet these guys, 4 guys." So then I kind of got into the artist management. Why? Because what my friend, obviously Darkman, he was in the music industry, and also my friend Aaron Hercules, he was heavily into the management team. So I kind of took a bit of everything, and I created sort of an artist management. So one of the first acts that I had was 4 guys who I went to see. I think I had an audition, I can't remember. And they turned up and they did this amazing a cappella. I think they sung Bill Withers, on not Lovely Day, it was the other one, I think.
Ain't No Sunshine.
Ain't No Sunshine. And I said, "Elaine, I've got these guys." She said, "Bring them in the office." Went down to the office with them, and they sang in front of Elaine. And this is DJ Elaine. She got the A&R position for, I think it was Polydor.
No,
she's,
EMI.
I think she's EMI. Okay, that's right. She's in the chat as well, and she loved them and signed them there and then. And then I thought, right, I got the bug. And then a friend of mine, no, it wasn't a friend of mine. It was, yes, it was a friend of mine. What's their names? I forgot their names now. One of them is with, anyway, forget it. He introduced me. He said, "Jerry, I'm in the studio with this young kid. He's 15, 16. And he put the phone, I put the phone to my ear, and I heard this voice. I said, "I'm on my way." I went down to the studio, and this little pint size, all due respect, Cassius, young little kids, 16, and the voice on this powerhouse, young kid. If you Google Cassius and what was he on, Reggie? The Voice, wasn't he?
It was The Voice, and also, but previously before that, funny enough, the first record, he was one of the first people to get produced by Kanye West in the UK.
Right. Now, I saw him on that evening. I said, I need to meet your mum and dad today. I'll drop you home. And I took him home, met his lovely mum, Penny, and Cassius's dad, and that was it. Big, huge friendship. We're all friends to this very day. Cassius messaged me, and that was it. I can't remember. I think it was Steve Jervier. I went straight to Steve Jervier. Steve Jervier was just launched his own record label. I think it was Jerv Records, I think. And he launched it in Hammersmith. And I brought Cassius down to Steve Jervier. He had a contract with, or what do you call it, with Sony?
Sony, yeah. They gave him £1 million for a label in it, or something like that.
Right. I took Cassius down there. I said, sing in front of Steve Jervier. He signed him straight away as well. So that's how it kind of got underway. But why I've come out of it now, just to set the record straight, I'm not in that anymore. I don't mind, but I don't really want to at this point. Well, obviously because of the present situation. Yeah. But I spent a lot of time in the studio because I had to look after Cassius because he was 16, 17, 18, 19. I had him for a couple of years. We were grooming him. Jigs had one of his first singles.
Yeah.
Jigs was playing this on radio and everybody's calling Jigs up. Who's this? I want a copy. But I was the only one who had it. And I gave it to Jigs to play because I knew Jigs was like, the man then.
The man, isn't it? Yeah, he was the man.
Still is. But what made me stop is these kids, they were kids at the time, they had personalities. The group I had was Denisha. Every one of them thought they were solo singers. So there was a clash there. So they kind of got disbanded. And then I had Cassius. They were spending a lot of time in the studio. We were trying to groom him, but Cassius had his own mind of what he wanted to do. And that's where you can either have artist direction, how you groom them, or they've got what it takes. But we were taking him out of what he felt he wanted to do. And he kind of rebelled, but he couldn't see the commercial side because we wanted to make commercial songs. We had a commercial hit, which was the song that Jigs was playing. But he had friends who were in his ear saying, "Nah, man, that's not road, blood, blah, 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 blah." Understandably, because he's a young kid. So it was New Year's Day. I woke up New Year's Day. Loved Cassius and his family to death. Woke up New Year's Day and I called Cassius. I said, "Cass, I've had enough. I'm going to put you through." And I just interviewed Cliff Richard. And because myself and Clive Black, who was Cliff Richard's management at the time, I called up Clive Black. I said, "Clive, I've got an artist for you. I just can't take it anymore, but I think you're the man who's going to take him further." And that was it. That's how our relationship built up, myself and Clive Black. And Cassius worked with so many, with other artists. He was in the studio next to other big artists. It was a great period. I don't regret it at all.
Yeah,
and sometimes
were you involved in the Kanye West days? When Kanye West, Thad Barron. Oh no, that was Edo Records. Sorry, that was under Clive Black. I remember now because Clive was at Edo Records as well at the time, wasn't he? Yeah. Yes, I remember.
It's a shame you haven't got a clip because Cassius was on The Voice and he got picked by what's the name? I can't remember the name. No. I can't remember. Jesse J. Jesse J. Loved that boy. And it was so good to see him on that stage. Well, The Voice is million views.
Yeah.
So it was great. Jerry? But I wasn't part with him. Yes, sir.
Management isn't for everybody, Jerry.
Exactly. It weren't me. You know what? I must say, just before I go, and I must remember to say this. I reminded myself to say that, and she'll probably kill me knowing that I said it. But throughout all my events, there's one person who's been there, and that's, we call her DJ Alum on the radio station, Elaine Lucas. She's helped me out. Elaine, love you like cook food, mate. She's been fantastic throughout this whole thing, from my first events right up to present day. On the door, running around, amazing woman.
Yeah, love Elaine.
Yeah, well, I said that.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say.
Yeah, definitely.
Jerry, thank you for coming on Set the Trend. I know you
Pleasure,
don't.
mate. There's so much more I could have told you. So much more.
And we'll probably, if you accept the invitation, we want to have round tables where we sit down with different people in our profession that made it out the other side, to say the least, and just to talk about some of the old days. So if you're happy to come back, then we're happy to have you at
100%
round table. Because as I said, I know you don't really like talking about yourself. It's probably the first interview that you've had for yourself.
Ever. I'm kind of close knit.
Yeah,
I kind of keep enclosed myself.
And it's been a long time coming. And thanks for sharing it with us.
No problem.
And we will see you again soon. Either Grenada is a lovely country. I like coming over there, and I know you've hooked up with.
You've been there a few times.
Yeah, and I'm gonna come back. And also, when you come over here, we look to link up with you. We may still get a booking or two when you come back to the old London, UK. So,
Definitely.
Jerry, thank you for coming on Set the Trend, sir. Salute.
Definitely.
General.
Amazing stuff, man. Thanks for the contribution to the scene, and thanks for giving me the opportunity, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, man.
Cheers.
All good. Dawn, lovely. Say hello to Steve.
Cool. And DCR as well. She's here, so let's just. Is she muted? No, she's not muted. You're not.
She's here.
I'm here.
You're there. Thank you for coming on to Set the Trend, DCR. We hope you stay a friend of us going forward, and we hope to be able to articulate to the viewers and to the listeners your travels, as well as, and give you as much support as we possibly can. So
which you have done. So thank you. Thanks for all the support as well.
Okay. Thanks a lot, DCR.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, my days. What a show.
God, it's nearly 1 a.m.
3 hours.
I'm surprised the producer hasn't gone crazy.
Because he's mate, innit? It's his mate, innit? It's his mate, innit? You know what I mean? He's all right when it's his mate. It's just when it's not his mate.
Is he awake though? Is he awake?
I want to go. I want to go. It's time. It's time. We've had enough.
I bet you're sleeping. He's sleeping.
He ain't, mate. He's there. He wants to talk to his mate. Anyway, that was a fantastic show.
Can I just big up a couple of people that's in there? Big up to Lisa Mack, Tony WH, sticking with us, Di Green, obviously Elaine Smith, Wendy, Sandra Thomas, big at yourself, Dee Muir, Kelly Kells, Susan, Elaine Simpson, Tasha Minion, Sandra Prescott, Helen Fontaine. Thank you so much for staying with us up so late,
And next week's show, can you put up next week's show for us? We don't stop.
Yeah,
Rick Clark
Clark.
in the building. Big up Luke and Glenda Clark. Fantastic news to come from them soon. Have we got the promo fire for next week at all? Thank you very much. Michelle Escoffrey, one of the most, she is a powerful black woman in the business, and one of the most powerful, I would say. She's head of PRS in the UK. Singer-songwriter, Escoffrey Sisters, Truce, old Night Moves attendee, and we'll be talking to her next week about legacy, right on a jumper there. We'll be talking to her, and I'm going to look forward to that because I ain't seen Michelle in some years. So we're going to look forward to talking about some memories.
Last time I saw her when I was in Hard Zone.
And another live performance by the UK's JB Rose will be closing the show for us next week. So we look forward to seeing JB Rose. My days. Right, Reggie. What you doing for the rest of the week? What you doing for the rest of the week?
Something.
Yeah, what you doing, mate?
So obviously, radio show tomorrow. Gonna try and get my Twitch views up. I'm trying to get to your level. You know what I mean? I didn't realize it was so difficult to get viewership on Twitch. So please go and follow me, Reggie Styles DJ, if you can support. I'm also going to be working on the Set the Trend merchandise.
Why do you do it? Big up Michael Puzzi, otherwise known as CK Flash MBE is it OBE? OBE?
MBE.
MBE in the building.
And then make sure you check out his bike park, actually,
BMX as well, yeah.
Yeah, pick them.
EastEnder, what you up to?
I'm going to take the advice.
Oh,
of,
sorry to cut you. I forgot. I'm going to be on Virtual Night In this Friday via my Twitch or virtualnightin.com. Yeah, so cool. Check it out with D. Demure, S. Campbell's his birthday, and also Ricky D from Special Edition.
Good. East?
I'm going to take the advice of Big Wayne. You know, he said sometimes, you have to do some man things in the house. You just can't spend your time on the radio and live streams. And so I'm going to do some man things in the house. I'm going to go into the garden and I'm going to destroy a broken shed I've got before and make preparation for the new one. So I'm going to do some man things in the garden. Tuesday
so you're
night.
officially old now. Then you're going to have your own garden shed.
No,
you're going to have your own garden shed.
No, you know what normally happens.
Why don't you turn it into a clubhouse for Miles?
No. It's a garage.
He's selfish. He'll turn it into a clubhouse for himself, mate.
No. So, and then of course Tuesday night, Facebook Live. I'm live streaming, doing my Soul Explosion show. And what else we got in the week? Wednesday, I'm gonna be speaking to Raheem Devon.
Excellent.
And we've just confirmed him.
We've just confirmed him for the 15th for a live performance on Set the Trend.
15th of May.
On the 15th.
Raheem Devon in the building.
Me old mucker.
You heard it here first, right? Mm-hmm. And also, as I said, we'll also be talking to Gary, Security Gary, and Calvin, Security Calvin. They'll be live up in here with another 2 guests. I'm not sure if we confirmed the other 2 because one of our producers was supposed to be doing some work on one of them. So I don't want to say his name. And the other one I just haven't phoned yet, but I know he will be happy to do it. But I don't want to say his name before I actually get the okay for him. So we'll be talking about security memories. We'll be finding out those people there that Gary didn't like and he made wait outside. You know what I mean? We'll be finding out some of these stories, some of the ones that Calvin, told, wait there, mate. Because you're cheeky, you're not coming in until I'm ready to tell you to come in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And some of the fantastic stories. But we must also remember that securities are the ones that also are the first people to more or less put their lives online for us sometimes when there's an iffy situation in the club. They're there to protect it and to make sure the whole thing carries on. So they play a very vital role. So we'll be talking to some of them guys. We've got a couple of other people that we haven't quite dotted the I's and crossed the T's yet, so we can't really mention, but that's in May. And we'll be locking up shop for a break. When EastEnder?
Was it July? June. Was it June the?
Is it 13th?
June the 13th.
June the 13th.
Something like that. Saturday is close to then
anyway. The week before the lockdown finishes, and we'll be shutting up shop. So make sure you share, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
What are you doing anyway? I forgot to ask what you're doing.
Me, I've got the Breakfast Blues tomorrow morning. I've got another business meeting in the afternoon. Busy me. I've got closed the deal this week, and hopefully I will be able to. I can't even mention that deal yet because, and this is separate to the deal. I've also closed another deal. I tell you what, pure deals going on here.
You know what? I'm happy for you. You know what?
In fact, shall I say I haven't crossed the T's and dot the I's yet. I'm having a business meeting tomorrow to do just that with my partners, and hopefully we'll get that across the line, and then we can tell you what that is about.
I'm happy that you're getting back out. Is it going to be to the size of that disco that event in Liverpool that happened the other night?
Oh, it's bigger than that.
Oh,
anyway, fantastic. I can't say anymore. Anyway, but anyway,
hold on. You're on a festival, isn't it? You're playing on a festival.
Yes, and do you know what? In all my years of playing music, that's the first festival that I've ever been on.
Really?
First one.
I told you. Remember?
I think it's the first one that any of the street sounds have ever been on because I can't remember I can't remember Special Touch being on one, and I can't remember Studio Express being on a festival.
Big up Hacks.
So, progress. And those artists, there are artists, aren't they? when you're talking
Big
about
artists.
the artists that will be performing at that event, they are artists that we championed in the 90s. So yeah, I look forward to that, and that's one of the things happening. So I'm not doing anything else for the week. I don't think I'm doing anything else. It's just deals, and obviously Monday's bank holiday. I'm toying with the idea of coming on bank holiday Monday to just do a quick thing, but we shall see. Depends how I feel Sunday. Depends how my head feels. So yeah, thanks to the people in the chat room. You've made this show happen as well. It's not only just us and people being interviewed. It's also you guys who are in the chat room. Remind us, if anybody can tell me, did Derek Chisora get knocked out? Who won between him and Parker? I would be happy to know, because I'm not sure that I do know, and I missed that today, and I know some of you missed it today as well. Right. So that's set the trend. Next week, we'll see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening for the Soul of London Radio, and Tuesday night as well for Eastender being taught how to play music by his son, Miles. So until then, it's bye from, what's it called? Sweet Like Sugar or Sweet Like Chocolate?
No, from the CEO of the DSS.
It's bye from Sweet Like Chocolate. Yeah.
You know what? Technically, I was right.
You were wrong. No, technically you're wrong. Don't try that. Don't try that, Bridget. Yeah.
Anyway, big up Terry. Thank you for your time. But technically, I was right.
No, technically he was wrong, bruv. You can't be wrong and right at the same time. You was either wrong or right. Yeah, he lost.
Why always me? Why always me?
Oh, Derek Tajora lost on points. Okay. Oh, Parker got it. All right, that's cool.
All right.
Right. So that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Set the Trend podcast, YouTube and Facebook. But YouTube, go and subscribe to the channel, please. Okay. We will see you. That's another session of us talking about the exploits of people who are affiliated or our street sounds, and we'll be telling the story as we go along each and every Saturday. For now, see you later. Thanks for being a part of it. Bye bye. Sweet Light Show.